you ready?
This is the D-Generation CLIX podcast. Here are your hosts, Ryan Redmond, Miles Kane, and Daniel Schwab.
Welcome back to the D-Generation CLIX podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me today are Miles, Dan, and Pete. Miles, what's up?
You know, it's Tuesday. It's going pretty good. I'm having some technical difficulties, so unfortunately I have to use my phone right now. But yeah, I've had a pretty good week. We had a fun week with GenCon. I was able to watch the majority of those, so that was cool seeing all those unique team builds, and it was so nice that everyone played something different for sure.
Yeah, that was a nice change. Dan, how have you been?
It's a little early to say my week is good yet because it's only Tuesday, but not so bad so far.
No, I got plenty of time for it to go downhill. Pete, what's new with you?
Sorry, that caught me off guard. It's just a regular work week. We had a little bit of excitement here yesterday, but it turned out to be a lot of nothing, thankfully. And so we're just kind of digging out of a missed day of work on Monday, but all good here.
We had the in-laws in for the weekend, so it was nice getting together with the family, but it did mean we had to miss GenCon, so hopefully next year we'll be able to make that. But that was pretty much what...
You should just tell them to meet you there next year.
Yes, I'm sure that would go over very well. So yeah, it was quiet, but it was nice. But getting into the news, we did get dates for the 2025 Champion CLIX Open annual event in Orlando, Florida. Usually that's held in January, but they're moving it to March next year just to kind of space it away from the holidays to allow more people a chance to make it. And they're also bringing back the Thursday casual event. So it'll be a 4-day event again. The dates are Thursday, March 6th through Sunday, March 9th. If you can make this event, I highly suggest you go. This is one of our favorite events to go to every year. Each year, it just keeps getting bigger and better. And then for 2025, they actually have officially joined with WizKids, so the pricing should be even more insane this year coming up. So definitely excited. We'll be down and going to that. Dan, you went to your first one, I think, last year, right?
Sure.
What did you think about it?
I got a lot less sun than I was hoping to get, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is the downside. I mean, you're playing HeroClix basically from morning to night, so there isn't a whole lot of downtime.
I mean, considering that out of you, Christine, and I, that I had the best win record in our team sealed, just saying.
Well, we don't really have to talk about that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if you can make it to that, definitely worth your time to make it down to Orlando for that in March. And then we are also opening up our Discord. So if you want to join our Discord and talk just HeroClix or whatever with us, check out the link on our Facebook page for this episode. But this weekend was Nationals at GenCon. So if you don't know how GenCon and Nationals currently works, for the last 3 years now, they have run 4 16-person qualifier tournaments with the top 4 from each pod advancing to the 16-person main event. This year, those who made the top 4 in the qualifiers were, on day 1, Ed AB played a mystical team. Kenny Minks, who is a 0-1 with his personal record against me, played a ruler team. Lucas Van Holland played a ruler team, and then Dan Powell played a mystical team. Day 2 was Alex Mader and a mystical team, Darren Gendron with an unthemed team, Patrick Frazier with Avengers, Jalen Major with mystical. The second pod on day 2 was Nathan Funamare with Monster, Alec Muser with Mystical, Caleb Reddick with Mystical, and then Isaac AB with Monster. And then the final pod on day 3, the top 4 were Cameron Bushcutter with Monster, Emilio Gutierrez with Avengers, and Nate White with Unthemed, and then Howard Brock made it with an Animal Team. So they ran 3 rounds of Swiss, and then they cut to the top 8 after that. So we just wanted to go over the top 8 builds and then the breakdown for the rest of the event. So starting top 8 with Jalen. Jalen Major played a mystical team. It was Ghost Rider with the Avatar of Khonshu, Arachnite at 60 points with the Trick Arrows, Blackheart with the Blue Lantern Ring, Sinestro Core Ring on White Shirt Scott Porter, the Black Shirt Scott Porter, Daredevil at 20 points with Bucky's Arm, and another Daredevil at 10 points. And then sideline was Absorbing Man, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider 001, probably for the pilots, and then Cathan. And he did have a Major Brock's Bunker on his map list there too. And for 5 points, the nifty Traffic Barrel. What do you think about that Traffic Barrel, Pete?
Here's a nice piece of shit.
That's what I think about it.
All right, well, that's nice.
You don't like winning.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dan, do you want to take Lucas's team?
Yeah, sir. So Lucas finished 7th. He also played a ruler team. So he had Prime Colossus with the Avatar of Taweret, Butterfly, and his swap-ins were Mern, the Chase Batman from BTU, and I think that's it. Death Metal Wonder Woman, Black Skull, and Double Scott Porters. And then his MOE swap was King Killmonger and Iron Inquisitor, and then his last slot on his sideline was Scrappy. He also had Major Brock's Bunker as well as Bloodstone Maze and Wakanda. So, pretty much his team just feels like hard to kill, and you don't really know what to hit first.
Right, and then he took 7th, and then 6th was Ed AB. Do you want to take that one, Pete?
Ed played a mystical team. He had Arachnite with Trick Arrows, Arachnite at 60, Kong with Avatar of Khonshu, another Kong, and a Blackheart. White Shirt Porter with the Sinestro Core Ring, Black Shirt Porter, and then Green Lantern Legacy with the Green Lantern Ring for leadership. On a sideline, he had Khonshu, Search for Amit's Tomb, Scrappy Doo, Cathan, War Machine, and Absorbing Man Prime. He also had Major Brock's Bunker, and there is a distinct lack of a nifty Traffic Barrel on here. So, Ed, I 100% support your team.
All right. And then Caleb Reddick came in 5th. Miles, you want to take his?
Yep. So Caleb went with the tried and true mystical. Said he had double Kong, one with Khonshu and one with Amit. Blackheart, Doom Supreme, which is really interesting because Doom Supreme's been really starting to see a lot more play on main force for that leadership. Prime Elsa with Trick Arrows and both Scott Porters, Sinestro Ring on the white shirt. He had Cathan on the sideline as well as the gods, obviously. And then he had King Killmonger, Iron Inquisitor, and for swap ends and Search for a Mutt's Tomb. That's 300 points. So there's a lack of Traffic Barrel. And I wonder if potentially something could have worked out, to maybe get Traffic Barrel on there. Could have helped a little bit. I mean, it's probably not. Caleb knows what he's doing. But he also had Major Brock's Bunker as a map, which is
solid choice.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg Manhattan and Terra Verde, which Terra Verde is one of the newer maps. I'm not too familiar with that.
That was out of the Deadpool Weapon X one. It's relatively wide open with just a little bit of elevated in one of the corners ish.
Okay, yeah, Monster Island is the one with the water, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then he had 2 large crates, and then standard hindering.
Right,
that's all elevated. Oh wow, with orange. That Terra Verde has an orange squares.
Oh, is it all 2? I'd have to look closer at it.
Yeah, it's all 2. It's all elevated, with some water hindering, and then I'm thinking that's a misprint from HC units with the 6 orange or the 9 orange squares.
Yeah, I'd have to check it out because I think there's only one elevation change on that whole map. And the rest is just some blocking. It's relatively wide open though.
Yeah, so maybe that's what those are supposed to be clear, and it just looks like orange. But yeah, I guess those 9 squares though on one of the
Yeah,
sides.
I think there's white because I see white on the Terra Verde, so that's
Okay, then yeah.
All right, and then coming in fourth was Alex Mater. Dan, do you want to take that one?
yes, sir. So he also had mystical. He started with the 048 Ghost Rider though with the Warlock, Arachnite at 60, Death Metal Wonder Woman, Ghost Goblin at 50 with the Trick Arrows, and then double Porter. White Porter had the ring, and then his sideline is Amit's Tomb, Werewolf by Night, the starter or the play at home kit for the Precision Strike and Outwit, I'm guessing, or Blades and Battle Fury for Ghost Rider. Iron Inquisitor, Killmonger, and Kithanos for your MOE swap, and then Chthon, which I'm guessing can go on either Ghost Rider, Arachnite, or Death Metal. And then he had Daily Bugle, Press Room, Dark Dimension, and Bloodstone Maze. And then he just had 3 regular objects, so no Traffic Barrel.
All right. Pete, do you want to take Dan Powell's team?
I do. Mr. Powell placed 3rd overall. He had Kong with Avatar of Khonshu, Kong with Avatar of Amit, Blackheart, Doom Supreme, Prime Elsa Bloodstone with the Trick Arrows, Scott Porter with the Sinestro Core Ring, and the Black Shirt Porter. On his sideline, he had Khonshu, Chthon, Amit, King Killmonger, Iron Inquisitor, Search for Amit's Tomb. He had Major Brock's Bunker, and also Terra Verde. And there is, again, no Traffic Barrel.
It's a rough call. Miles, do you want to take Alec Muser, who took 2nd?
So Alex Muser, who I'm hoping that he can start picking up, but I want to call him the Hacksaw Jim Duggan of HeroClix, since his name is HeroClix USA, and Jim Duggan loves the USA. So hopefully that picks up. Call him the HeroClix Jim Duggan. So he had Arachnite with nothing on him. Kong with Khonshu, Doom Supreme MOE swap, Blackheart, Elsa Bloodstone Prime with Trick Arrows, both Porters, and White Shirt with the Sinestro Ring. And his sideline was with Chthon, Search for Mutt's Tomb, Inquisitor, Killmonger, and Hound. Hound's an interesting choice. I never saw him really bring him in, so and obviously Khonshu on there. His Chthon, from what I remember from seeing in the earlier games, is actually usually going on Elsa Bloodstone to bump up her attack and damage. But I know in the finals he decided to put it on Blackheart.
That was probably the most commonly that's where I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but the Elsa Bloodstone I think is actually a really smart play because you're not taking an action or costed action with her free attacks. So it's actually a pretty smart play to be a 12 to 4.
Yeah, it's not bad actually, yeah, because you're not taking a token.
Yeah, and if she does leave Trick Arrows, you have multiple chances at hitting things, I guess, if you're leaving the Trick Arrows on her.
I do like the Chthon.
Yeah, actually, I like that a lot.
Map choice of Blitzkrieg Manhattan, Sentinel Factory, and Daily Bugle Press Room. So it's good to see that he was. I think he might be the only person without the bunker map.
Oh, Alex didn't have it either.
Okay, so hey man, Alex. Well, I guess Alex's team was that was. So it's gonna be interesting to see if more people are going to go their route or potentially go with the bunker, because I think the bunker actually helps you win games that you would normally wouldn't if you go second, just because of the protection it allows.
Yeah, Daily Bugle is my choice before the bunker map, but bunker is now mine.
Yeah.
All right, and then taking first was Isaac AB, so he played a monster theme. He had Black Skull with the Black Symbiote, Blackheart, Myrn on his main forest, 2 Kongs, White Shirt Porter with Sinestro Core, Black Shirt Porter, and then sideline was mostly MOE swap with Ghost Goblin, Kid Thanos, King Killmonger, Iron Inquisitor, Chthon, and then Search for Amit's Tomb. And then maps were Major Brock's Bunker, Ultron's Lair, and the Daily Bugle Press Room. So the top 8 went with Isaac AB taking out Jalen Major. Dan Powell beat Lucas in quite possibly the worst run of luck ever, where I think he had 3 crit misses all in a row, right?
Yeah.
That's how that played out. Yeah, so that took Lucas out. And then Alex Mader beat Ed AB. Alex Muser took out Caleb Reddick. And then moving on to top 4, saw Alec Muser beating Dan Powell. Isaac AB beating Alex Mader. And then the final saw Isaac take another big win, taking down Alec Muser, which was a great run for Alec. And then congrats to Isaac AB, your 2024 Nationals champion. You can check out more build sheets on HC Units, and then Dial H has a bunch of gameplay videos up on their YouTube. And then also check out the next Dial H podcast because they have a bunch of data they compiled over the weekend about winning map, win percentage, maps played, and then also the player data that they were talking about last week. So a lot of really cool stuff.
The ELO.
Yeah. So a lot of cool stuff coming from there. So check that out.
Yes.
But the main focus of this podcast is the Masters of Time CUR set review. So on to that. They were able to fit a Batman in this set. So Dan, do you want to start us off with 001 Batman?
Of course. So 001 Batman. He's 60 points. He's 7 clicks long. He's got 2 traits. He's got, obviously, I'm pretty sure all the Batmen. These are all the shifting focus. So at the beginning of your turn, you may choose one, replace Batman with another character with this trait on the same click number, or heal Batman 1 click, which I don't think is bad. It's pretty good. And then his other trait is Empower. Free if Batman didn't begin the turn on the map, adjacent friendly characters modify attack +1 until your next turn. I don't think that's that bad. Like, giving basically, the blue ring, if you had Empower, is not bad, I don't think. So, and he's a charge piece, though, starting out, and then he shifts to Flurry with Precision, and then Sidestep Precision on the back end, so... I don't think he's bad for a common. This is pretty solid for your 001.
Yeah.
The weird thing about this is that it's not exactly shifting focus, so you have to make the choice to do the switch at the beginning of your turn, and then each one of them has a special power that if you did not begin on the map. So we'll go over them all between this episode and next episode, but some of them are actually really good, so he might actually have a place in different formats.
I do like him in Pulp. Just look at that dial. I mean, he's for 60 points. I think he could potentially be there in Pulp at post rotation. There's still a lot that needs to be settled for the meta post rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be a spot open for him.
I think he could potentially be good in Sealed, just because if you get him and one of the other Batmen, I think that's pretty good in Sealed.
I'm assuming you're going to see Batman packs, right? That's been kind of one of the things they've been doing. And I mean, he's good, honestly. For an 01 charge, quake, exploit.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll get some play. So great start.
Yeah, not a bad common for a sealed pull either. And then 002 is the Velociraptor.
Clever girl.
So this is actually one that I was pretty excited to see. So I'll be playing this in packs. But this just has one trait, which is called Clever. It's a unique modifier. Friendly characters with the animal keyword making close attacks modify attack +1 for each other friendly character with the animal keyword adjacent to their target. It's just 3 clicks. It starts with an 8 charge, 10 blades, 17 toughness, 3 exploit, and then the only thing that changes is that on its third and last click, it goes down to a 6 speed and a 2 exploit instead. And that's 40 points. So pretty cool sculpt. I'm actually really excited to play a bunch of these, so I'm hoping to pull a decent amount. But
you have to play Dinosaur Hatchling into the Velociraptor because you got to let that egg incubate for sure.
The egg hatchling.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next is Deadman. Miles, you want to go over Deadman?
Yep. So I'm a huge fan of Deadman. I'm not sure if a lot of people are actually familiar with this character. This style's a little bit different because he's more of a possession piece. I definitely think you guys everybody that's listening needs to definitely read about him. He is a very unique character with a detective to where he was pretty much working for a circus, died, and then he's now taking over people's bodies in order to like solve crimes. That's just the gist of it. I don't want to spoil a lot, but we're for it. But
What is up
yeah,
with
he's 40 points. Oh, what was that?
What is up with DC and trapeze artists? Like what? Like Grayson's this guy? Like what is up with that?
I don't know. It's Rich Buckler's the guy that created him, Deadman. So that's yeah. But
He's a big
you're not wrong
trapeze
there.
fan.
Like maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. He thought that it's kind of stupid that maybe Dick Grayson lived, and so this is the story of what if Robin died, and so Deadman's the real Robin.
Well,
You know?
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler for something that's been around for what Robin's around since '39, so almost 100 years. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So anyway, he's got improved movement, elevated blocking, and characters. 4 speed with a special speed power for all 5 clicks. And then starts out with a 12 attack, 18 defense, and shape change. 12, 18, 1 with precision strike, super senses, and shape change. He has precision strike throughout the entire dial. 3 clicks of super senses that lead to 2 regen, and then 3 shape change that lead to 2 outwit. His special speed power is mind control sidestep, and when Deadman uses mind control, after resolutions, he may be placed adjacent to a hit character. And the 6 range isn't bad, 8 with his sidestep. It's a little with 2 rollouts and the precision strike. I mean, I guess you just throw him up there to be a tie-up piece. He's 40 points. I think that he's going to see tons of play in Pulp. I think there could be something potentially in Modern, and in Sealed, I think he's a must-play.
Yeah, if I pull this guy in Sealed, I think I'm pretty happy too for this common. But he also has Mystics too, so even if you hit him, you're taking Mystics damage. He's got 2 rollouts. The Precision Strike is awesome. 12 attack, just walking through walls, elevated characters. I actually really like this guy a lot for 40 points. I could see him in Pulp 2 for sure.
Yeah.
I think the keywords are interesting. I'm happy to see 7 soldiers back. And I don't know what to make of Sentinels of Magic yet, but Justice League Dark is cool too.
Justice League Dark is always a good keyword. I like that one.
That one we might see more of because I think there's a team up card with that one too, so that might be kind of heavily featured in this set.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like him a lot. Pete,
Here's a nice piece of shit.
would you like to take
Why
the
we
next
sent
one?
Oh man, Animal Man. Justice League Animal, Cosmic, Mystical, and Scientist. He is 6 clicks long, and he starts as a Charge, Super Strength, Impervious, Close Combat Expert piece. I want to go on record here in saying that, and he's also Mystics. He does not have any traits, which is wild to me. This is probably the first Animal Man that we've gotten since playing, and he's fine in Pulp, he's fine in Sealed. Like, he's a reasonable attacker in Sealed.
I was gonna say, I think he's a bomb in Sealed. Like a 12-5 with super strength feels pretty good.
Yeah, I can get on board with this argument right here, Pete. I can get on board with this argument. As a character that's been needed to be clicks, he's definitely a disappointment. For sure.
I mean,
and they
this
used
is
the wrong sculpt.
Oh, totally the wrong sculpt. But you can't give him one trait or something. Like, I mean, this is just, man. Look, boys. This is my thought.
Look how they mess with my boy.
That's what they did to him. They could have been so much better. So, I mean, fine in Sealed, fine in Pulp. And then he's never going to leave my shelf ever again. Although I do love me some Buddy Baker. So
Yeah, I do too. But yeah, that's Buddy Baker needs the bomber jacket. Like that's the way I feel, especially because like we were so close. We're 1 figure away from getting the greatest arc from the 52 with Buddy Baker, Starfire, and Adam Strange. So I want bomber jacket Buddy Baker back.
So I know nothing about this character, but it looked so plain that I was instantly disappointed anyway. So I ended up looking up the character, and it sounds like he's actually got like a cool backstory, and definitely could have been doing a lot more cool things. But like, just no traits, just nothing fancy at all.
his comic runs are really interesting. They go a lot of different directions. There's a lot of times where he's breaking the fourth wall and doing different stuff. It was kind of my first exposure to that type of storytelling. So he's really a character that I've always gravitated towards anytime they've made a decent run of him. So
yeah, Grant Morrison's Animal Man was my first foray into the fourth wall breaking, and I love the character. I'm right there with you.
I think he's fine in sealed. If you play him in pulp, maybe, but outwit is hard to get in pulp, I think, right now. So if outwit gets easier, then I think this guy doesn't even see play there either. But 60 points for the dial's fine. It's just boring and, yeah, not very special.
Yeah.
Dan, do you want to take Detective Chimp?
Sure. So he's 35 points. He's 4 clicks long. He's got mystics. He's got the Justice League Dark, Shadow Pack, Animal, Detective, Mystical keywords. He's got a special damage power that he's got on all 4 of his clicks, which is Perplex and Outwit. And then he starts his Stealth and Super Senses for 2 clicks, and then he's got Leap, Climb, and Super Senses for 2 clicks. A play in sealed, Perplex Outwit is always good. But I think we have another version that I like a bit better than this one that we will talk about later.
Yeah, same points. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, that was the thing for me. So
Hey, I found your outwit in Pulp.
Yeah, but in Steel, I think that he's a must play in Steel for sure. I mean, 35 points for Perplex not wit, and then he's
Well, he's
I
tiny.
think
You're carrying him around, like.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's hard to kill. 18 super senses is not nothing, and tiny from range. So, I think he's good for 35 points.
yeah, I'm not saying he's bad. It's more just there's a different version that I would play over this one, but I don't think he's bad.
Yeah.
You got to hit him in, yeah. It's
I do like him in Pulp, though. I like him in Pulp.
18 super sense is tiny, and you got to sink 4 damage into hitting him, and there's mystics. So, yeah, he's kind of a target, but at the same time, you got to invest into it just for 35 points. So it's not terrible.
But
I recommend everybody reading his original stories from the 50s. Those are it's hilarious. He's not anything special. Chimp likes detecting.
Yes, that's it. That's right. He's got outwit and perplex for animal. He's got an additional source of outwit and perplex for mystical. He probably sees play on some Justice League Dark teams for fun. Shadow Pack is another keyword we haven't seen in a while, so I don't know how much of that there is. I don't know that he's making detective, but we'll see.
It's going to be wide open pretty soon with detective after rotation. Next is 006 Mr. Mind. So this guy I think is actually pretty cool. He has improved targeting characters and adjacent to characters, 8 range with 2 bolts. He has a 4 mind control, 11 attack, 17 super senses, and 1 outwit on his top dial. He's tiny, 30 points. So kind of just a really cool little mind control piece. And then he also has a team-up card, which is when Mr. Mind starts the game, if he's part of a Time Stealers theme team, choose an opposing character. When Mr. Mind uses a displayed standard power, he can target the chosen character regardless of line of fire. So depending on what click he's on, that could be Outwit, Prob, or Perplex. And then always the mind control that he has. He has 3 clicks of health also. So I think this guy could see play really anywhere.
Especially we have a figure that we'll be going over at next week and 100% this guy's going to be seeing play. And that team up card's interesting too because we have another figure that's a colossal that changes the Time Stealers into potentially being competitive with keyword cheating.
Is he in the they're in the super rares though?
No, it's the one of the colossals. So what are they considered chases? It's Ultra Humanite.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we'll go over that next week. But it offers some options.
It just makes this figure better. You're playing him in sealed. Mm-hmm. You're probably going to be playing him in pulp, potentially. I mean, especially with monster, an animal, and then in constructed, you're playing him. He's just so good.
Yeah,
whether him on your sideline or reinforced.
Right now at that 8 range, that's awesome.
Yeah, 8 range dual target just to get the outwit, prob or perplex potentially. Like that's not bad just in of itself, and plus he's mind controlling and seeing through people. So yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Then next we're getting a bunch of trick arrows. Do you want to go over those, Miles?
Yep. So these are supposed to work with the current trick arrows. I know some people are trying to argue saying that we need a win rolling, but we've had a WizKids official article saying that these will work. Luckily, the first one was the same. A force may only contain 1 trick arrow, but you're going to be able to alternate between the arrows. And I actually really like these arrows. They bring some interesting things. The first one we have is Boxing Glove, and that's on reveal. You choose a hit character. After resolutions, you knock back the hit character 6 squares and increase any knockback damage they would be dealt by 1. So that's extremely good, especially if you're going against someone with toughness. Potentially on their stop click, they have toughness or something, so you're going to be always doing that knockback. Knocking someone back 6 squares is huge for placement purposes. It makes them a lot harder to be able to come and hit you because they usually have smaller range, smaller movement speed, and moving them 6 away from your character is extremely good. Fountain Pen is the next one, and this is choose a hit character, and until your next turn, lines of fire drawn to that character by friendly characters can't be blocked. That's interesting, very niche, and that's why it's really cool with these trick arrows is that it's per mashup. So I'd make sure to at least, obviously have one of these ready if you're playing trick arrows because you never know what matchup this could be important to. Hypnotic, this is the one that's interesting. Mind control without mind control. Instead of normal damage, you choose a hit character or a character adjacent to a hit character. That character half speed and becomes friendly to your force, and one at a time may in either order move and or make an attack, then it reverts forces. Now I know people are trying to argue that you can use this to target an adjacent friendly character, and I don't see how that's going to work because it's you choose someone that becomes friendly to your force. So that right there is, tells you all you need to know for that arrow, in my opinion. But, maybe it's going to have to do a ruling because someone's going to be like, well, it doesn't say you can't because, we always have those. Stun trick arrow, choose a hit character. The hit character can't use speed or attack powers until your next turn. That is going to be extremely huge, especially with characters like Kong, Prime Colossus, who are, you can't outwit them. But if you're able to hit this on him, on one of them, because this also works with Big Arrow, since it's choose a hit character, they can't use speed or attack powers. So now for Colossus, you're shutting down Charge, Mind Control, and Super Strength. Kong, you're shutting off Charge, Super Strength, Quake. So that's a great one. This one's probably my personal favorite, and that's Phantom Zone. And you choose a hit character after resolutions, place the chosen character in their starting area. I think it works great post rotation, or even works now. Like, let's say they bring up Blackheart to try and do an alpha on you. You can hit Blackheart, target both of them, and then just send Kong all the way back to his starting area to make him waste, make it that much harder for him to get to you. So I really like Phantom Zone and the options that brings. And then we have the Nth Metal, which is choose a hit character until your next turn. The chosen character can't use team abilities or stop. So that one's going to be seeing probably a lot of play because it works on everything, including Pulse Wave. So hopefully it's not modern for Worlds.
As I say, if these are modern for Worlds, I think they're going to be all pretty important options to have on your sidelines. So that kind of will be, I think, one of the bigger questions is if these can make your team.
Well, they're not on your sideline, right? They're just I think are like an associated. Like you bring the cards with you, and then you pick 3 to start the game, right?
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
And then you place.
You still. I think Big Arrow's still a must play.
Yeah.
I don't think you play Trick Arrows without Big. At least one of them, if not 2.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of these arrows that work really good with them.
Yeah, Too Dangerous is still just. It's still really strong, so I think that's another option that you're just like, yeah, I'm always gonna play that.
Yep.
I really wish that they would just fix them and errata how they were supposed to actually be and only be on range attacks. I think that would make them a lot better.
I mean, they are arrows.
Well, no, they wouldn't make them better. It'd make them more.
Well, yeah, not limiting something's not going to make them better. It would make them better for the game and more balanced. But they're not stopping with these because they just previewed a Deadpool and Cable set with the.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
And they're coming with another 2 or 3 arrows in that too. So trick arrows are going to keep coming here. So it would be nice if they changed it to actually work how they were originally intended, like the first article that they showed. And then I'd also like to see pieces like what was it, the Lucky that lets you retrieve one, like you can get it back. And then I think there was a kit that lets you pick 4 arrows instead of 3. So
something
just
like that,
pieces that interact with the arrows a little bit more, I think, are kind of neat too. But Yeah, if these are, I think the biggest question is if these are legal for Worlds, it can definitely change what you play or what you put on your team. Next is Booster Gold. Do you want to take that one, Pete?
Booster Gold 008, JLA Team Ability, Justice League Time Masters, Celebrity Future and Past. Got a trait, Time Masters, which I think a bunch of them actually share this. Probability control when Booster Gold uses it and an opposing character misses all targets. After resolutions, remove an action token from a friendly character with the future or past keyword. He's got 2 dials, 70 point, 40 points. He's 7 clicks long at 70, running shot, energy explosion, toughness, and enhancement. And low dial, he is knockback, pulse wave, energy shield deflection, and enhancement. I think he's gonna see some looks. Honestly, I mean, probability control traded is great. I don't have anything bad to say about that. And he also does have a team up, which works with Time Masters. Depending on point total, if he's 40, you roll 2d6s and place him on the card, and if he is 70, you roll 3d6s and place him on a card. And when a character within range attacks, you may remove a d6 from this card and place it in the attack roll with it. So I kind of like that type of stuff. I've kind of looked at Time Masters as a keyword. I think they'll probably see play one time for fun for me. And then I'll probably get it out of my system. Yeah, I'll probably get out of my system after that. But I like him. Yeah. I like Booster Gold. I think he's a fun character. I enjoy him and Blue Beetle are kind of one of my favorite buddy pairings in comics. So it's nice to see him back. And I think this is a fairly reasonable common. So
I'm just disappointed in the team up, especially with the name Future Knowledge. It would have been really cool if instead of Time Master, it was Past, because then I think he would see tons of play, because Past is there. And Time Masters are just so limited right now. It sucks. You're just never going to be able to benefit playing that outside of fun, like you're saying.
I like the GLU one better than this one.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, and they wish that they... they made him different. The Force Blast Pulse Wave, I think, is extremely good. No, not having movement attack is other thing, but
40 points. Yeah.
Like if they made him Past for his team up card, I would say you 100% play him at 70 points for the 3d6 that you roll.
Yeah, that's a huge bonus. Yeah.
I mean, I think
it's not Past. It's like
if I'm playing him on that team up card, I'm looking at the other pieces. It's probably him at 70 regardless.
Yeah.
Just for the move and attack. So.
All right. Next is Ginny Hex. Do you want to take that one, Dan?
Yeah. She is 40 points. I think that's the same as Lady Mastermind, if I'm not mistaken. But she's better than Lady Mastermind because she actually has move and attack.
There's a lot of reasons she's better. Let's list them all.
Man.
He named the one thing that makes her better. Move and attack.
Yep. But she only has 2 printed damage her entire dial. But she does make up for it on the front and the back end, which is kind of funny. She has the quick draw trait, which reads when she hits with a range attack, if it was during your first action this turn, after resolutions, remove an action token from her. So she has to make the first attack of the turn, which means you can running shot into it, but still, that's super niche. She has an attack power that is on her first 3 clicks. It's Blade's Claws, but can also for range attacks. So that's pretty good considering she has top dial 2 damage and 2 damage her entire dial. And then so she's running shot for the first 2 clicks, and then she shifts to sidestep, and she's got enhancement and then RCE that she switches back and forth. Starts with enhancement, goes to RCE. So I don't think she's necessarily bad, but man, she's not great either though.
Still, you're doing that running shot 9 square reach, with Blade's Claws with fangs from range.
Yeah.
40 points, it's not bad at all.
No, I don't think she's a bad common. It's just one of those where I look at it and I'm like, man, they like the quick draw guys are just so niche that it's just hard to, I don't know.
He's got marks.
I know, and I'm disappointed because the first figure they made with quick draw doesn't even theme with anyone else that has quick draw.
No, I know.
Because he's got marksman, and it's just sad.
And it's just a weird.
You can go, Pete. I think she's good and sealed. No, I think she's good and sealed. She's 40. If you look at your boosters and you do what I do and you get all the rares that are in the set and a bunch of crap commons and you see this in there, you're like, well, at least I'm going to be able to attack somebody.
Yeah, and I mean,
Oh,
I'll be happy to gamble and roll the 6 on the blades for a range attack
Yeah.
and be like, here, eat 6.
And she's got enhancement, and she's a marksman. It's not even comparable to Lady Mastermind.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah,
can't.
you call her a trick arrow.
Yeah,
You give her
yeah.
a trick arrow.
I'm just saying you
Yeah.
can't bank on the trick arrows in sealed, right? Like if you pull the trick arrow pack with her, you're very lucky. Then you're like, all right, well, cool.
Oh
I
yeah,
got
for sure. No, yeah, that's
And then even if she gets
she's good without the trick arrows in field, but yeah, trick arrows definitely move her up that notch if you're able to get her.
And even if she gets based at her top dial, she can still use the blades up close, and then she's a 19 defense. So, but range she gets taken out pretty easy. 010 is Prehistoric Warrior. A lot of clicks for 25 points. It's a 6 charge on the first 3 clicks, 10 blades, 17 toughness, 2 empower, and he gets KO'd on click 6. That's about all there is to Prehistoric Warrior. Brute, Past, and Warrior.
You better have a whole team of Velociraptors in this guy.
I'm just going to put a whole
them
thing
versus Velociraptors. All right.
I'm pretty sure they're going to go
All
down.
of us are going to play Prehistoric Warriors, and then you're going to play Velociraptors. And then 300 points.
And then that the T-Rex that we'll go over next episode too.
Yes. That thing has there's some interesting things you can do with that piece in silver.
I love the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Miles, going to go into the League Assassin?
Yep. So League Assassin, different sculpt, same name. Almost the same keywords as the original League Assassins. Have League of Assassins, Assassin, Marksman, and Martial Artist. You got 25 points. 9, 11, 17, 2 with starting out with Stealth, Combat Reflexes, and Range Combat Expert. For 2 clicks, then they go to Flurry, Blades, Blank Defense, and Shape Change with 5 range. So, I mean, it's no movement attack, but I guess, it's still okay. I wish that there was someone that could generate it. I think that's what really hurts it. This one won't be seeing a lot of play outside of probably never. I don't think anyone's going to ever really be playing this. Because maybe in sealed if you have to. Because it's really not that bad. 12 for 3.
How do we get a 25-point charge piece? And the next piece is 20 points. And then we get this, which is like an assassin that stands in place.
In the shadows.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyways.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. Not a whole lot there either. Pete, do you want to take the next generic?
I do. Easy Company Soldier, Pass, and Soldier. 012. He's got a trait that says Formidable Resolve, Easy Company. When a friendly character with the Soldier keyword is KO'd by an opposing effect, give Easy Company Soldier a Formidable Resolve token. Free, remove a Formidable Resolve token to modify Easy Company's Soldier's combat values +1 to your next turn. I don't understand the 2 lines. Am I missing something?
You'll get it. Yeah. There's another figure that generates them on click 5.
All right. So he's essentially 2 different clicks then. So sidestep, energy explosion, toughness, and then you have a click that he gets generated on, I'm assuming, which is sidestep, pensai, and some lower values. I don't know. I mean, he's listen. Sometimes when you're building for the monthly and you got some points left,
this guy makes it.
This is the kind of nonsense you bring. Like this, and he'll show up in a big spot, and you'll be like, "That's the best 20 points I've ever played."
Yeah, that's exactly when they shine. It's like those.
Wait.
You have those points there.
I think we've seen that a lot with the Superman robot of 10 points that just walks up the board and dies.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's I don't know. He's 20 points. I'm not going to be upset about this one. I think this one's better than the League Assassin.
Oh yeah.
The League Assassin might be winning the Lady Mastermind award for me so far for this set, but at least it's only 25 points of bad, not 40 points of bad.
That's a very good point. Next is Blackhawk pilots. Dan, you want to go over the Blackhawk pilot?
Yeah, so she's definitely not bad, but I don't know. So she's 30 points. She's got Pass, Soldier, and Vehicle. She's got a trait and a special damage power. And her trait is the Formidable Resolve, but it's the Ace pilots this time. You get the same thing. It's when you KO a soldier or when a soldier, or sorry, when a friendly character with the soldier keyword is KO'd, you give them a formidable resolve token. But hers is when you remove the resolve token, if you do a Blackhawk pilot and friendly characters that they carried this turn can use super senses until your next turn. So not bad as a consolation that someone with the soldier keyword is dead, I guess, for a turn. And then her damage power, which is on her all four clicks because she is 4 clicks long, is enhancement. When she uses it, modify the attacking character's attack +1 if they have the vehicle keyword. So the only problem that I have with that, at least if in the set for sure, like in sealed, is there's like 3 characters with the vehicle keyword in the set, and the other one we'll get to, and then one is a colossal. So it's like, but that is why.
But enhancement's good too. With TK, 30
Yeah.
point TK enhancement.
She is good.
Yeah.
She's definitely a play in sealed. She's flight. She's got running shot, TK, energy shield, and then that damage power. So just for the flight and the TK at 30 points, and
then you throw her into that prime kingpin pot of is he trying to figure out the prime kingpin, the code to unlock that team. She becomes an 11 for 4 with him and having toughness.
maybe.
So,
No.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you're going to play her with him, but yeah, she just gets thrown into that pot because all of a sudden she becomes that much better being an 11 for 4.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
But yeah, that is Black Hawk Pilot.
Yeah, 30
think
points.
she's good.
Yeah, flight, TK. I like her.
Yeah, I mean TK on soldier, TK on pass, 30 points, and you're still grabbing an enhancement. And yeah, I think she's really good. The 3 damage is you're happy with 3 damage most of the time, right? So
yeah.
And only 5 more points than League Assassin.
that's true. And 10 less than our favorite clicks of all time, Lady Mastermind.
All right, next is 014 Time Trapper. Time Trapper has Cosmic Energy and Hyper Time that's coming back. The keywords are future and past. The trait, it's a special damage power. The time stream is my domain. Probability control. When Time Trapper uses it and a friendly character hits all targets, after resolutions, give an action token to each hit target. The point lines are 150. At 100, it gets KO'd on click 11 and starts with a phasing teleport, Pensai, Mastermind, and then that special damage power. So 8 speed, 11 attack, 18 defense. And then after some damage and on second point line, the Mastermind turns into super senses. And then it gets back to the special damage power. 6 range, 2 bolts, and the improved targeting through characters. I'm not really sure what to think of this because 100 points is a lot, and I feel like it just dies. And it doesn't have a strong enough effect.
For sealed, I like it. I'm not saying at 100 points. I mean, if this is your best piece, then for you have to play 100 points. It's insane. The improved targeting characters with 6 range is, I think, extremely good for the prop. So I think that they're going to cease play in sealed. I like it more than I did when it was first revealed, even though it's a lot worse than the original one that we got. And I know the Legacy CUR was really hoping for it. But yeah, I'm on the fence too. I haven't really decided where this figure, how I really feel about it. In sealed, I think it's fine at 50 points.
It just seems like way too overcosted at high and doesn't do enough at 50. The stats going down in power.
No, but when you're stuck with two boosters, you're going to get those boosters where, luckily this is a common piece, so you're going to have access to prop. It's not going to be your ideal choice, but
yeah, see,
there's worse.
50 points
There's
for
worse
that.
figures.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like it, I guess.
I mean, the prop is
No,
good.
it doesn't feel good, but there's worse figures that you could play in their spot.
I like Blackhawk Pilot's enhancement coming back and making it at a 3 at 50
Oh, yeah,
points.
if you play, for sure, yeah. No, they're never going to be a must play, but at least they bring the prop with improved targeting characters.
I don't think I'm happy if I have to play this in sealed even.
No, I'm not saying you're going to be happy, but at least it's useful. It's not going to be like a League Assassin or a Lady Mastermind, because at least this can do something for you.
You know what? Those are good points because I would be less happy if I pulled them. So that does put them into perspective.
Yeah, you're getting prop control. That's very much needed in sealed.
Well, after a few DC sets, Superman makes his return to this set. Miles, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I'm so stoked that we finally. I think it's been 5-6 years since we got Superman.
It's been a while.
It's funny though because the Superman comes. He's 85 or 50 points. He has a team ability that we haven't seen since I believe Rebirth, right? With Hyper Time.
Yes.
Which I think the Time Trapper had that as well. Yes. So Hyper Time is when an opposing character that can't use this team ability attempts to move from a non-adjacent square into a square that is adjacent to this character, it must roll a d6. If you roll 1 or 2, the opposing character can't move into any square adjacent to this character this turn. So pretty much what this saying is that when an opposing character tries to move adjacent to this character, if they don't have Hyper Time, you roll a d6. 1, 2, they don't move close. That's it. That first sentence was kind of rough trying to add to fly it.
Seems like it's
so we have
overcomplicated.
Yeah, Metropolis, Time Ministers. Now here it is. Trinity and Future Past. He has a Time Master's trait that Booster Gold had. Prob control, and when he uses it, and an opposing character misses all targets. After resolutions, you remove an action token from a friendly character with Future or Past keyword. He got special defensive power, which he has on click 1 of both starting lines. The first starting line gets KO'd on click 9, and then the second starting line starts on click 4 to 9. So you go from 5 clicks, 8 clicks to 5 clicks. 10, 11, 19, 3 with charge, super strength, and the defensive power, which is defendant invulnerability with 3 damage. And then he drops down to just invulnerability for 2 clicks, goes back to that stop, or not a stop, but just that special power for his lower line, which is an 8, 10, 18, 3, which is the same power. And then he has toughness his last 4 clicks. Yeah, we've seen worse Superman. I think that if I had to go, if I would actually probably play him with Black Lantern Superman every time, even on a monster team. I'd make a non-team.
Yeah, 85 points, only 3 damage, and even though it's a charged Superman, he could probably still have some range, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about this. This might be honestly, because I actually like the Notorious Common Superman. This might be the worst Superman that we've seen since that. Was that just an OP Superman, the one with 5 range and running shot?
You mean the redial from the Trinity War redial? You talking about that one?
I think so. Yeah, it was released last year.
No, I think 2 years ago at GenCon.
Yeah, and it was just horrendous. This is just horrible. Even as a charge piece, because 85 points, I'd rather pull me for common. I'd rather have Animal Man because he's gonna be a 12/5.
Yeah, the 19 defend is nice, but it just gets knocked down right away, and then just is not good.
Yeah.
This is going to get played one time on a Time Masters team, and then when I go 0-3 that night and don't score any points, I'll remind myself why that was a bad idea.
That's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah, that's basically what this is.
Yeah, you'll go 1 and 2 if Book was there. Yeah, don't slice Superman just yet.
So
yeah. All right, Pete, we got Daxamite next.
Here's a nice piece of shit.
I feel a little targeted by these pieces tonight. So he's a bunch of Daxamites are essentially like a planet full of people that have powers somewhat similar to Kryptonians. He's got 3 lines. 120 points is 9 hypersonic, 11, 18 invuln, and 3 close combat expert. 80 points starts you on click 4, and that's 7 hypersonic, 11, 18, 3 with close combat expert. And the 40-point line, which might be the only line that you look at him, is 7 hypersonic, 10, 18, 2 with close combat expert. He's got improved targeting through hindering, and he's got cosmic and future. No traits for Daxamites, no willpower, no love for this group piece.
There's nothing redeeming about this at all.
That kind of fits the character though, right? Because they were like they were like or they were Kryptonians or like whatever, like they were related to
Yeah.
Kryptonians and they got shuttled off to a different planet or whatever, and basically shunned or something was what I remember hearing about Daxamite.
Mon El. Yeah, they're pretty much like Kryptonians that like split off at some point. Yeah. I mean, for a generic piece, when you look at it as just a generic, I
Yeah,
don't think you really need traits because you're not that specific character. So if this is like a Mon-El, I'd say 100% this is trash. The figure deserve better. But since we're just talking about like a generic, just anybody from the planet, I think it's okay for as a generic.
They're still Kryptonians at some point, an offsuit of Kryptonians.
Oh,
So
no, yeah,
I
no.
feel like
They're like they're cat pieces and stuff. No, I'm just trying to defend the piece of shit here. Okay.
Well, stop it.
you're doing an excellent job.
It's
Doing an
the
excellent.
dial's a
Think of me as
mess.
the Superman
You
that just
can't
went over with a nuke to defend.
you can't plan anything that's going to happen after you take damage. One outwit, he's taking all the damage because he's got the same non-penetrating reducing the whole time. It's just it's like Deadpool robot.
My sealed, this will be 120, and I will have Time Trapper at 100 because that's what I will pull.
I look forward to
that
playing
is
you at the pre-release.
220 points of me just getting stomped into the ground is what will happen.
Well, it'll be cool too because you know you're going to pull out probably at least 2 League Assassins.
I'm rounding out then. Yes. It's at least I would have move and attack. I've had whole pre-releases where I did not have move and attack on my team except for a Pog.
That was
And
great.
It was a pretty rough day.
I remember that game pretty vividly. That was the Disney Plus release.
Oh, so bad. That happened again too with War of the Realms.
Yes.
Like because my best piece was Malekith, and I was like, I can't, like, the rock troll Pog was the only thing doing anything for me. I was like, this is so bad.
can we just never mention that set ever again, please?
It'll come up again.
No, I don't want it to.
Dan, not only one Batman in this set, but there's at least 2 more. Do you want to take both of these?
Oh
Thank
yeah,
God we got more Batman.
I know, because that's exactly what we need is more Batman.
Well, actually, I'm not upset with the shifting focus. That's not shifting focus. I think this is actually pretty cool, to be honest. But
Yeah,
It's a neat
this
gimmick.
is the Western version of Batman. He has the quick draw trait, and his is it's literally the same thing. I thought it was going to be special. It is not. He is the same amount of points, 60. Batman ally. He shoots through hindering, which is cool. Good and sealed for sure. And then he has a special damage power that he has in his entire dial, which is actually pretty cool. It's RCE, and then free if Batman didn't begin the turn on the map, make a range attack. So this is a pretty cool swap in piece. At least that's what I'm thinking.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
And he starts off at running shot, side blasts, and ESD, and then he shifts to in his 3 middle clicks, sidestep, precision, and willpower. And then his last 2 clicks are, I think that's leap climb and energy explosion, and then ESD. So I don't think this is bad. Like, this is a pretty good shift in, depending. I mean, especially you just get the free make an attack, so it's a range attack, but still. And anything that sees through hindering is always good. So, especially with how many Batman are in this set, because he can at least see them.
I know I joked that
I
we just
like
got
him in. Yeah.
we're getting a bunch of Batman, but at least they're all very different. They do seem like they do just like a bunch of. If you have all of them, it seems like it's a pretty cool gimmick.
Yeah.
What were you
The
gonna
next
say?
one is the prehistoric Batman. This was like went back in time. I think it's related to the whole Barbatos thing. I don't really know enough about it, but that's my general like overview of it. He's got the same replacement trait. His second trait is free. If Batman didn't begin the turn of the map, generate a smoke terrain marker in a square. That's pretty cool. So he's almost always in stealth. And then he's a close combat piece, so he is flurry. He's got a special attack power on his first 4 clicks, and then steal energy on his back 3. He's got a pretty good reducers. I would say for an uncommon, it's invuln with a 19. Then he goes toughness, and then last 3 clicks are super senses. And then he's angry all the time, just straight battle fury. And then his attack power is steal energy. When Batman KOs an opposing character after resolutions, he may make an attack. So this is one of those where I'm like, man, if this goes off, and I've like swapped in, that's fantastic. You can like if you survive and you swap him in and he's on those clicks, like he's got either a 12 or an 11, and flurry his whole dial. In sealed, that could really cripple a team.
I actually think that he is probably the piece that you start with if you're doing a pass theme, because getting that other Batman, the Cowboy Batman, to get that free attack is really helpful for an Alpha Strike. And pass, I think Pat's already there. So I would like to say that these two Batman right here can actually be seen in the competitive scene on a pad because these two pieces work so well together. Just swap them into your Cowboy, he gets that free attack, and then if he takes a few clicks of damage, you're fine because like you said, with this caveman Batman, he just has that steel energy, and if he KOs someone, he gets flurry. So just you after resolutions, you make an attack. So.
And at the beginning of the turn, all of them you can just choose to heal one click instead of replace.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's why I just like the thought of like, okay, my Batman took like 1 or 2 clicks. I switch into this guy, and then just like if you can place it right, I mean, he could just annihilate a whole team. So
I think so, yeah. Because after resolutions, you may make an attack. That's an instruction. It's not a free.
yep.
So if you're killing all their support, 3 damage. I mean, why not? You can that can trigger quite a bit. Because if you KO 2 people with flurry after resolutions, you're able to trigger twice. So
Yep.
yeah, I really like it.
I think once you get based, he comes out, and I think if you base somebody, he comes out. I think he's a cool piece. I also think that Redmond should strongly consider dressing up like this for Halloween. I think that's a good look, Redmond.
Don't tempt me.
I think you should.
It's on the list.
Perfect.
All right, we made it to 019 before we got a Wonder Woman. So this is 019 Wonder Woman. She's got JLA and the Wonder Woman team ability. She's got Amazon, Justice League Dark, Trinity, Deity, Mystical, and Warrior keywords. She has a trait. I have asked all of the major magical players, friendly characters with the Mystical keyword have JLA. And then another one, which is I am the protector of this world. Defend. Once per turn, when a standard friendly character within 4 squares that shares a keyword with Wonder Woman is targeted with an attack, you may choose to place Wonder Woman and the friendly character in each other's squares, and she becomes the target of the attack instead. So what's nice with this is that trait allows you to switch before and gives her that 19 impervious. So there's plenty of reasons why you would probably want to do that. So that's actually a pretty cool trait that could come into play. She is 120 points on her top dial. She's got a 8 charge with flight, no attack power, 19 impervious, and a 4 exploit. And then her dial kind of changes around between sidestep, quake, sidestep blades, flurry. And then her low dial is 50 points, and it's a 7 charge. Again, no attack power, 18 invulnerability now, and only a 3 exploit. I'm not sure. Seems probably similar to Time Trapper, where both are a little overcosted, and I don't think I like her at 50 points. What do you guys think about
She
this
does have a
one?
team up front.
Yeah, it's not listed
that was-
though. I forget what it does or where I saw it.
It's for Justice League Dark,
Dark,
and
yeah.
something else, but it's where the Justice League Dark get the Wonder Woman team ability.
Oh, okay.
Is that another trait?
No, it's just it's a team up card.
Oh.
For Justice
Yeah,
League Dark.
the team up card will give the additional trait if you play the team
Yeah.
up card.
I think she's cool. I mean, given mystical characters JLA,
Yeah,
you're
that's
kind of getting some business there.
Yeah, but then
'cause
what are you playing
You're
her at
basically
though?
Probably
I mean-
50 to get her on a mystical team.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sealed, I don't see the bad choice. Like, I could go 120 because the 19 is good, and like you said, with that attack, like you could throw your opponent off, and like suddenly they have to hit a 19 instead of 18 or something.
Yeah.
So, I
And
mean,
traded defend 19 is great too.
yeah. So,
I think she's cool. I don't think she's gonna hit the table in a meta game,
no,
but I think she's fun.
yeah, she's neat.
Would you say 120 at sealed then and 50 in constructed? Because if you can get her on that mystical team, giving JLA to everybody so that they get that +1 to attack, that's I guess not bad. Then she's at 12 for 3 exploit.
Well, and especially with quarters leaving, that +1 attack is going to be sorely mixed, and so that you're going to reach sometimes to get that +1 attack.
Yeah.
I think 120 in sealed depends on what else you have, but she's not a terrible 120. At least it's charge 11 with exploit, so you're going to chew through something. And then you still have rollouts. You still have the Wonder Woman Super Sense rollout, right? And you still have Impervious.
Yeah, just on the 6, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next is Dr. Fate. Do you want to take that one, Miles?
Yes. So Dr. Fate comes in with at 50 points with JSA and Mystics. He's got Justice League Dark, Justice Society, Future, Mystical, and Past. He has a trait, Shape Change Super Senses. When Dr. Fate uses either, it succeeds. After resolutions, you generate a number 20 Dr. Fate on click 6. This game, that Dr. Fate can't use this trait and isn't scored when KO'd. Now, I don't know if I'm the one that's noticed this, but we had was it War of the Realms Loki was essentially like the JLU Dr. Fate, but cheaper. And this Dr. Fate is very reminiscent of the Empire Loki, but 10 points cheaper. So that was really interesting how they're doing Loki and Dr. Fate essentially the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never really done. Wow.
Actually really like this Dr. Fate. I think he'll get better. I think he'll get better post rotation, to be honest. But
Yeah, so he's sidestep TK 6, 11, 17, 3 with prob first four clicks, or his only 4 clicks. That's 5 range, and then the click 6 that he gets generated on when he makes one of his rollouts, which is nice because it can happen multiple times in a turn. So you definitely want to try and get as many of these as possible. There'll be a 4-0, 18-0, which is stealth, energy shield deflection, and enhancement. So, I mean, they're also going to have mystics. Not bad. It's unfortunate that they're not attackers, but they're great for mastermind fodder.
and they're just
In sealed, I guess you're going to play him for that prob and TK.
yeah.
And the sidestep, he's extremely good for that. It just sucks that you can't really use that trait of just flopping fates everywhere. But yeah, I love this. And I think it's really funny how they're making Dr. Fate and Loki's just copying essentially the same thing, making their dials very similar.
This is another one that I compare to the JLA Dr. Fate though, and I like this one a lot better. Just starting with the TK and prob is really useful, and then if you can start generating the enhancement ones, and like you said, use them for mastermind, anything like that. So I like this piece quite a bit.
I mean, just the fact that you're getting enhancement that you're not, and they don't score them. So like, yeah, they're 1 click long, but they're still, like you said, they can be an annoying tie-up piece for 1 click that is mystics.
Right.
And you can't score it, so it's just like, well, I have to do something about this, you know. I want to punch it and take a mystics too. Not really.
I think he's cool. I mean, there's a world where you're body blocking with the people that he's making.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I like him.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely see play in any format for sure. Next is 021 Zatanna.
This is the worst.
Oh man, I've gotten some of my favorite characters in this set, and man, Zatanna is JLA and Mystics. She's Justice League Dark, 7 Soldiers, Shadow Pact, Celebrity, and Mystical. She's got a trait, which is her backwards magic, which says pick a power. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose a standard power. Zatanna can use the chosen power until your next turn. She is 4 range, 2 targets. She flies. She's 70 points. She has a dial full of colors and pick a power.
Well, I mean, her dial's a mirror, right? Like it's kind of neat, but it's also not great.
Not redeeming.
No, it's not redeeming. Do you guys remember? Or did you ever see the old Zatara flick, like from World's Finest? I think.
Was it worse than this?
No, it just was very similar in how it operated. It had like a mirror dial, pretty much like where you started on one and then you ended on the same thing, and in the middle it was like really good. Like her in the middle is pretty good. Like she doesn't have a lot of speed, but she's a 12-2 with precision strike, 2 targets. I mean, at least she's got good stats and decent powers. But
and when the Blackhawk pilot or whoever we went through earlier hits her right to that click the first time they hit it, that's great. I just think she's overcosted. She 50 points, I probably consider maybe occasionally playing it, but at 70, that's just way too much. I mean, this is again the second time I'm going to drop this audio clip.
Look how they mess with my boy.
That's my thoughts on Zatanna.
Yeah.
Miles, do you want to try to defend this? I know you do.
No. Okay, yeah. Actually, yeah, here we go. I know she's 70 points, guys, okay? I know that sounds crazy. But that trait, you choose a standard power. It doesn't matter where she's at. She's always going to have stealth. She can have a move and attack with sidestep. She can have precision strike with blades and 3 damage. It can be great. Super senses. She's always going to have super senses. So she's always going to have a rollout top clip. There is so much potential with this piece. The JLA, so she'll be technically a 12 attack against most people. She'll have mystics. I mean, even harder to kill her. I mean, she's a winner.
You sure about that?
That's all I got.
No, 70 points, not even pick a power saves it. Like Pete said, I think 50 points would have made her a fun piece to throw on a team, but that's a rough sell, this one.
I think the biggest thing for me is like we haven't ever gotten like the good Zatanna where it's like her at like I would say the height of her powers. Like she's nothing to scoff at least from like what I've seen of Zatanna. Like
there was one that made a bat that was really good. I forget what set that was from. It was from before we started playing.
Oh, I wonder if it was the the bombshell one, right? Is that one?
Was it? She makes a bat bystander.
Oh no, that was Batman the Animated Series. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I know the bombshell one does something too, but that one is more dependent on you playing the other bombshells.
Was it from Batman?
The OP kit one honestly isn't that bad.
No, it's from Heart. Oh no, it was the bombshells.
No, it was Batman Animated Series. I'm pretty sure. I bet you 10-1. It's the Batman Animated Series.
Yeah, that.
Zatanna's had some incredible moments in comics. Now she also gets stuck kind of where a lot of characters get stuck, where they kind of tell the same story over and over again. And hers is always the fight with the shadow of her father. But I mean, honestly, Zatanna's gone far beyond what her father ever did in comics. So I think we are due for a really, really good one, and this is not the really, really good one.
No.
So.
I'm still waiting for that writer that really falls in love with the character to give us a great Zatanna and give people a reason to want to see a good version of her.
Yeah. Dan, you were right. It's the Batman and the Animated Series one. Now there was that OP one that came out, or was it? It was just a LE that you could win, I think, at events, but it was during COVID, so it never really saw a lot of release. That one was kind of cool for 35 points. So, like, I would grab that one.
And she got comped by Saturnine because she did the same thing but worse.
Right, yeah. But I mean, as far as like liking a character, wanting to play a character, like that's for 35 points, I would play her every time over the other one that we are getting right now.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Then after Zatanna, Dan, do you want to take Supernova?
Sure. He is 50 points, or at least, yeah, John Carter. Yeah. That's funny that his name is John Carter. He's got Time Stealer's Future Past. He's got a trait and a special damage power that is on his first 3 clicks. His damage power, or his trait is during game setup, increase the result of your 2d6 roll to determine first player by +1 for each character with the Time Stealer's keyword on your force. So if you're playing him, you're obviously getting at least the +1. So that's interesting.
Well, and Time Stealers, the Time Stealers, yeah, there's a chance that can be real good.
I don't know if he's making my Time Stealers team, but all right. And then his damage power, which is on his first 3 clicks, is Prob. Once per turn, when Supernova uses it, if the new result is higher than the previous result, he may immediately use Prob again. That's
I like that, actually.
Well, I don't know, because that means, I guess if it's for opposing, you can then you rolled higher. All right, we're gonna re-roll that. I don't know if I want to do that on my turn.
Well, it says you may, so you don't have to.
Yeah, that's true. It's just the immediate part of like, well, you may. It's like cool, but I don't want to do it right now. And then so he's flight. He's got a running shot, incap, and then ESD and the special damage for 3 clicks, and then he goes to phasing, Psyblast, and super senses for 2 clicks with 3 damage. I don't think he's bad, but like he's just good and sealed. I think he's definitely not making like modern competitive play, but I don't necessarily.
There's one reason why he will.
Passed.
That first trait.
50 points though.
I don't know if I want to pay.
So there's a figure that Ultra Humanite is beginning to. He cheats animals onto Time Stealers. So you're going to be seeing him in competitive. Someone's going to try that because they're always going to be guaranteed first player.
I guess it's just a lot. That's a lot for 50 points when he doesn't do much else because he's a full range 2 target, like he's a 10 attack and he's in cap.
No, I know. I'm just saying that he does that if like, because when you played the old animals, like you were very dependent on you had to go first. You know, so there's going to be builds where you have to go first, and if you're able to get that to +2 or +3 over, so you're +6 on your opponent, I think that 50 points for what he does is worth it to make sure that you're able to follow, go first. Is it going to be the optimized? No. He's probably going to see more play in silver, especially with how good Animal is. But yeah, I could see him getting competitive play just because he's almost a for sure way to get there first.
I think he sees
I'm just
play
gonna say-
if there's a swap out that you can get him off your team as soon as the game starts.
There you go.
Well, maybe, but yeah, but even with Animals too, time steals and everything, you get Mern on the team with him. So there's going first with Mern, always good. I know he's not the greatest, but giving that benefit of pretty much making sure you go first, I think it's something worth looking at 50 points.
I think
He brings something everyone else does.
I think you mitigate the 50 points a little bit better in silver, so maybe silver, like you said. But yeah, 50 is just so much.
Yeah. Well,
no, Animal right now is not. There's not enough to be able to waste 50 points on him in modern.
No.
But in silver, he will absolutely see play. And I think anybody that's looking to build Animal in silver really needs to give this figure a look.
That's fair. But next up is Red Arrow.
Red Arrow is 023. It's Outsiders, 7 Soldiers, Star City, Teen Titans, and Marksman. And the team player team ability, 1 trait, Oliver's Daughter. Adjacent friendly characters with the Marksman keyword have an extra bolt. And then the improved targeting through characters, 5 range, 2 bolts. Starts with only 1 point dial. It's 50 points, 8 running shot, 11 precision strike, 17 ESD, and 3 enhancement. And then gets KO'd on click 7. So for 50 points, I think this is actually pretty cool. I think Marksman is really a keyword that's getting strong really quick, especially with the option to add trick arrows onto at least one of them, or onto one of them, I should say. And then this one's 50 points, but giving everyone with the Marksman keyword an extra bolt seems pretty strong. And enhancements.
Yeah, and she shoots through other characters.
There's some characters which we've went over before, like if only they had another bolt, they'd be more playable.
Right. So she gives an extra one to every single one, and it's adjacent still, but at the same time you can plan that out.
Well, she has enhancements, so you want her adjacent anyway.
Right.
No, there's something there for sure. I really do like her. Yeah, Marksman they're definitely pushing Marksman.
And I think there's a green arrow that has a team up card for Marksman that we'll go over later.
Yes.
Yeah, which that makes them even better. So yeah, Marksman's getting really strong really quick. So all right,
Marksman's going to become the new assassin for this podcast.
maybe a second. Next is Beast Boy. Miles, you want to take Beast Boy?
Yes, we have Garfield Logan, Beast Boy. He has Outsiders and Team Player. He has Doom Patrol, Teen Titans, Animal, and Celebrity, and all the keywords that Beast Boy should have, which is great. He's 60 points. He's 7 clicks long. He starts with 7, 11, 17, 3 with 0 range, 1 target. Hypersonic, a special attack power, energy shield deflection, and shape change. He has that special attack power for 2 clicks before he finishes with 5 clicks of blades. 3 clicks of hypersonic into charge. 3 damage almost all the way through. He does end with 2 damage, but it's exploit, so you can get it, that's fully fine. Blades exploit obviously is good. He has a trait that time to go Jurassic sized. When Beast Boy hits, after resolutions, you may give him a transform token and roll a d6, adding the number of his transform tokens to result. 7, remove any transform tokens from Beast Boy, then replace them with a character named Beast Boy on the same click. This is really interesting because the Beast Boy, which comes on later, it says just replace him with a character named Beast Boy on the same click number. I'm not quite sure if it's going to work because if he's click 1, that Beast Boy only has 120 points. So I guess you get now 120 points. So maybe
Still, if you KO'd the new Beast Boy, you'd get 120 points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, since beat whoever. Yeah. But there's also a cheat too when you have that figure too, because that figure I think has a stop click, which we can go over. That brings back this beast point, so it's hilarious. So you're like, yeah, actually, no, you're not gonna get 120. But yeah, his special attack power is Blade Claw's Fangs Precision Strike, and when he uses Blade Claw's Fangs, hit characters modified speed -2 until your next turn. I actually really like this dial, not just as Beast Boy, but like as
Velociraptor.
just a yeah. I think it's really fun. I'd love to paint this as blue from Jurassic World for sure.
That'd be cool.
I think the only thing I don't like about it is the ESD. I think that's my only like gripe about the dial.
I guess but they're super quick, so you can't really shoot them. You know, like that's where you're gonna,
Still a
Yeah.
Velociraptor, Dan.
Wait, what?
It's still a Velociraptor.
Okay. I'm not gonna argue any further.
And Beast Boy starts with a B, and so does Blue. Well, you cannot turn down Beast. You cannot say no to the Raptors.
I think he's great.
Yeah.
I think he's awesome. Outsiders is always a great team ability. He's also got team player, and I mean, you're really the energy shield is you're not going to sell out with this hypersonic. You're trying to get away, make somebody shoot at you. So I think he's shape change. I think he's cool.
Because you want him to get that -2 speed for attack.
Well, this will be a piece that
really good.
I want to get that like the first of his transform tokens and just immediately try to roll, hit the 6, and then pop out the big boy, Beast Boy.
Yeah, no, that's And like I said, his stop click also negates it. Yeah, there's a lot of fun interactions with this Beast Boy and that other one. It's gonna be hard to pull off a trait, staying on click 1, but it's gonna be worth it.
I just like the blades with the precision strike, and then they also modify their speed -2 on that top dial. So, and then shape change. I like this piece a lot.
I think he's a must play and sealed, and I think there's a really good argument for constructed.
On what?
Animal, maybe.
Well, right now it's gonna be hard for. I mean, animal. I think if you're gonna do animal, I think that he's gonna be almost a must play on animal. And then there's in silver, you can cheat him onto several teams.
Yeah.
So yeah. But we got another outsider, so maybe we can use Chief Legacy card a little bit more. Maybe get a Doom Patrol team.
Is he rotating? Was he in Notorious or?
Yeah, he's rotating. He was in BT.
Yeah, he's Batman team up. Yeah, that's what sucks. Yeah. Because
cool.
God forbid we have a whole cycle where we have 3 DC sets legal together.
Can't do it. No.
Maybe next year. Hopefully next year. Not just maybe. Hopefully next year.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have 025 Cinnamon.
Tigers love pepper. They hate cinnamon.
Pete, do you want to take her?
I do. Cinnamon, Marksman, and past Kate Manser from the Manser family. Quick draw. When Cinnamon uses it, hits a range attack. If it's first during your turn, if this was during your first action this turn after resolutions, you may remove an action token from her. And then she has another trait bonded through Destiny, unique modifier, friendly characters named Carter Hall, Hawkman or Nighthawk, modified defense +1. She is 45 points. She's 5 clicks, charge, precision strike, close combat expert, and enhancement. And then she has a team up card, team up trick shooting. If all friendly characters have the quick draw trait, they can use it even if the attack wasn't during your first action of the turn. So I guess that's good if you want to do that. Quick draw, when Cinnamon hits the range attack, it was the first action, you can remove the action token, and then the same bonded through Destiny. So I think when I was setting up for the podcast, my immediate thing was I went through this whole set to try to find these other pieces. And I want to say there's a Nighthawk, but there's no Hawkman and there's no Carter Hall to my knowledge.
Correct.
No.
So this will also be on my sealed team somehow, probably. That's just what's going to happen. I don't know.
The interesting thing, though, with Nighthawk is that works with the Marvel character Nighthawk. So...
That we haven't gotten in how many sets?
Well, we've never got Carter Hall either. I guess no. I think we do have a Carter Hall. Maybe. I think Carter Hall is way back in Hyper Time. The old LEs.
Very relevant.
For Miles. I was waiting for Miles to find something redeeming about this piece, and he did. So that's all I've got here.
We have
name
never.
is
That it works
Cinnamon.
with a Marvel piece.
Her name is Cinnamon. We've never gotten a Carter Hall, by the way, so don't hold your breath.
We have. We've gotten 2 of them. They were LEs from Origins and from Hypertime.
Super
Like
relevant.
I guess they're not in HD units, so I was like,
No, they are.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're on it. Yeah, just type in Carter Hall. Yeah, they're.
Oh, I searched him by name. Oh, all right. Yes. All right.
All right, Pete, did you do the team up card? Forgot about that.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Also not super redeeming. Next is 026 Anthro. Dan, do you want to take him?
This guy wants to be good so bad, but he's kind of not.
Oh no, I love that. As soon as he was shown, everybody just instantly went up. Kong's useless, and I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I know.
I still don't.
I don't either.
No. Yeah.
He's
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pay an extra 5 points to try and kill Kong instead of me saving 5 points and playing a Kong.
and then
exactly
Pong,
what I'm gonna do.
and then Pong killing like 5 things versus this guy like, yeah, I might kill 1, maybe, possibly.
Sums it up pretty well.
Yeah, so he's 55 points. He's brute past warrior. I usually don't try to crap on pieces too hard, but like this guy's just bad. Like it's just not great. He's got a trade.
No, I mean, he's good. He's not a Kong killer like everybody says. He has leadership and support. That's redeeming.
Yeah.
He does do 4 damage.
Yep.
But yeah, he's not the end all be all of ending Kong like everyone thought he was.
His trait is when Anthro attacks a character with the giant or colossal symbol, that character can't use defense powers for this attack. His team up card expands on that a little bit. If Anthro is part of a listed theme, which is brute or past, the first time each turn a friendly character attacks that type of character, either giant or colossal, they can't use defense powers, which I don't think is bad. That's pretty good.
No, for past, that's what I think it makes him playable with past. It's specifically this team up card. But it hurts him at the same time because if you're doing a past theme team, you want to be playing multiples of the Pegasus cap. Like you want to be playing 2 Peg caps, and you just can't with this team up card.
But I mean, he's neat. He's 55 points. He's a lot of points. But he's at least like 6 clicks deep. He's got an 11 attack. His whole dial always has 3 damage or more. I mean, he's really consistent. Like his stats really never change. So I don't. He's not a bad piece. It was just really funny when he came out and everyone's like, oh my god, we found the Kong like the way to kill Kong, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is not the thing, but this is funny.
There's not even a ton of like colossals being played right though in Modern or Giants right now. I don't see this set.
There will be though. There will be. With this set for sure.
The legacy cards.
The legacy cards. I think Flash Raptor will see some play. I really do.
Yeah,
I think
Flash Raptor would be good.
We'll get into the colossals, I guess, later, but I just don't see this guy because again, it's not giving you the ability to turn off defense powers on their first attack against anyone. It's only giants or colossals, so you're paying 55 points at a chance that they're playing one of these pieces, so you can take down one. So,
yeah, I mean, there's Kong. That's it.
Probably better just to play Kong.
Well, so he's got to hit Kong on his top dial to get through 50-point Kong, right? That's
and the only way that he's going to be playable against Kongs is going to only be in silver because luckily he has blades with a 4 damage printed. So that way maybe he can survive a Kong attack with the blades roll out from APOC.
I saw the post with him and I was like, well, I think this is just 55 points for Kong is what this is, honestly. Yeah. So it's an interesting idea. Somebody may make it work. I leadership is good, support is good. Past you said is right there. Warrior is always good too, especially in silver. Like you said, you can get the rollout with APOC and Genesis. So I think there are things to like. I don't think it's like an immediate silver bullet for Kong.
No.
So.
Next we have 027 Talia Al Ghul. She's got the team player team ability. Batman Family, League of Assassins, Assassin, Marksman, Martial Artist, and Spy. She's got the target trait that we've seen on other Assassins, and then another trait torn between love and family. If Talia al Ghul is part of a Batman family theme team, she can use support and sidestep. If she is part of a League of Assassins theme team, she can use precision strike and penetrating psychic blast. She's got 5 range and an 8 running shot with no attack power, so you're just... Oh, no, it's support or sidestep, yeah. So, and then so no attack power, and then the 17 combat reflexes and range combat expert. So 11 for 3 at range, only 35 points, which isn't terrible. But I think you're really playing her for the support on Batman Family, because League of Assassins will never be there.
No, see, I thought it would have been cooler had her trait read like, if another friendly character on your force has the Batman Family keyword, then you get those, and then same thing for the League of Assassins, because then you could get all 4 of those powers potentially if you juggle it.
Just remove League of and just as a part of an Assassin's theme team.
Yes, that would be better also.
Yeah, that would also be better. Yeah.
Because League of Assassins just never will be there because you're always going to want an Assassin team.
Like, I get what they were going for, right? Like, I get it. It's cool. It's very thematic, but kind of tough.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could still make her 35 points, but I do like what Dan said, where if you build accordingly and you're able to fit those keywords on a team, getting both if you do that is rewarding. So I like that.
I think I think she'd be okay for 35 for that. You're really limiting your build potential if you're having to fit both a person with Batman Family and a person with League of Assassins on your team.
I'd bump her up to 40 points probably, but if you do both, she's got support, sidestep. Batman is probably going to give her the Batman team ability, so now she's got stealth, and then she's also got precision strike and penetrating psychic blast, range combat expert, running shot. I think that 40 points if you can do that is probably good.
Maybe, yeah. I guess. She's still only an 11-3. Like, it's much better, right? But I don't know.
I think she's the official mascot of this podcast because she has both the important keywords that we love, assassin and marksman.
But sadly, she's probably never making either of those teams that we build.
That's why she's the mascot. She just gets to hang out on the sideline and not do anything.
That's fair. She can go on the sideline. Miles, do you want to take the next one?
Yep. Sergeant Rock, 55 points. Past and Soldier. You got the Formidable Resolve. When a friendly character with a Soldier keyword is KO'd by an opposing effect, you give Sergeant Rock a Formidable Resolve token. If Sergeant Rock has a Formidable Resolve token, the first time he would be KO'd, instead remove all of his Formidable Resolve tokens and turn him to his last non-KO click, then heal him 1 click for every token removed this way. Protected Pulse Wave. He is 6 clicks deep, 2 clicks charge, 2 sidestep, 2 flurry. It has 2 clicks of a special attack, followed by 2 clicks of EE, and then he ends with 2 clicks of that special attack. 2 clicks of toughness, with the last 4 being combat reflexes and leadership throughout. He starts as 6, 11, 18, 3. His special attack power is calling in the reserves power. You generate a 012 Easy Company Soldier on click 5 within range and line of fire, and he's got 4 range, so that's pretty decent. And then you may remove any number of Formidable Resolve tokens from Sergeant Rock. If you do, for every 2 tokens removed, you generate a 012 Easy Company Soldier on click 5 adjacent to the first Easy Company Soldier generated this way. This game, those characters aren't scored when KO'd. The really great thing about that is that he's creating not really mastermind fodder, but he's creating enough fodder that are 0 points with the Soldier keyword that are pretty decent, because if you saw their stats earlier, they're 12 attack with Psychic Blast. And
I think they're just 11 attack, but it's still good. It's 11.
Oh, it's 11, yeah. An 11 attack with Psychic Blast, but still, they're going to be enough harassments to where they will potentially get KO'd, loading up Sergeant Rock's resolve tokens to where you can potentially heal them all the way to full. But 0 point mastermind fodder for anything, especially for Soldier or Pass, that's great.
On his team up,
I really like
him better too.
Yeah, and his team up card is, I think, way better, because if he's part of a Soldier theme team, friendly characters with the Formidable Resolve trait have this character starts the game with a Formidable Resolve token. So we still have a few more figures. There's actually one that I think is going to probably see play as a tentpole in Modern, a rare that we'll get to. But I think Soldier has, Soldier's always been great, and I think Sergeant Rock adds a little bit extra to it.
What's his
I really do
story
like him.
as a character?
He's pretty much DC's Nick Fury. He's part of the Easy Company. We went to fought in the Vietnam War. It's just war comics.
Okay.
He got stuck in a bunch of time travel shenanigans too. Dinosaur Island, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, he looks cool. I'll definitely give this guy a try for sure. Definitely Pulp, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think for sure. Those generating 0 point figures for Pulp.
Yeah.
Doesn't love attack like blast. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I think for sure Pulp. I'd like to see a Soldier Pulp team again. All right, next is Lady Blackhawk. Do you want to take that one, Dan?
I don't know how I wound up with both the Blackhawks, but I'll take it, I guess. So she's either 50 or 35. She has a trait and a special speed power. She's got Birds of Prey, Past, Soldier, and Vehicle keywords. I haven't seen Birds of Prey in a minute. She's her Formidable Resolve trait.
Great movie.
Her Formidable Resolve trait is Super Senses. When Lady Blackhawk uses Super Senses, you may remove a Formidable Resolve token to re-roll the result. I think it's pretty good. She gains them the same way everybody else does when someone with the Soldier keyword is KO'd by an opposing effect. And then I like that they changed some of these too for like when characters die. It's not just like via an attack; it's via any like opposing effect. So you have a much easier time gaining these types of like, you're down, right? But you're going to get a benefit on your other characters. So this feels a lot better than just like, they didn't kill a friendly by an attack, so I don't get my token,
Right.
Yep.
So I do like that change a lot. Her special speed power, which she has on clicks 1 through 3, she has 2 starting lines. So she has one that starts obviously on click 1, she's 5 clicks long, and then her other one starts on click 3. It's the special speed power, energy explosion, ESD, and then perplex. Her special speed power is Running Shot. When Lady Blackhawk moves, after resolutions, you may remove any number of Formidable Resolve tokens from her. If you do, place up to that many friendly characters with the Soldier keyword within range adjacent to her. I think that with Mr. What was that? What's his name? Sergeant Rock with the team up is actually pretty good for 35 because she just starts.
No, and I think you actually play her at 50 with that team up card.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just thinking just
extra speed.
I guess that's true, but I was thinking even just 6 squares to just place somebody adjacent to her, like that's 15 points cheaper than Falcon. It's like
and then also too, it's just when she moves. So
yeah, exactly.
It works with Running Shot as well. So you're actually able to Running Shot with her attack, and then place everyone with that team up card. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot to do there at 35 or 50. Yeah, I think she's amazing.
And there's no limits. There's no limits on getting those Formidable Resolve tokens either. It's just when a friendly character with the Soldier keyword is KO'd. So that literally triggers on everyone else that has it that way. And so those 0.1s, you're also getting it like that. If she's got 3 or 4 on her, do you really want to attack her and have her burn through those? Because you can keep doing it if you miss again. It's not like a free use it. If she uses Super Senses and you have one, you can remove it if you fail.
Yeah.
Yep.
So her last 2 clicks, she kind of like falls apart. She's Earthbound, Smoke Cloud, and Outwit, but she's pretty squishy. So I don't know if she's ever seen those last 2 clicks. But I think she's pretty good. She might see playing Pulp. I mean, that's not bad for 35.
Yeah, she's gonna be just like that. With it's not gonna be as easy as Blackheart, but that's essentially what she is doing. Is similar. She just has to go through a little bit more phases, which actually I think I'm fine with. Because you have to KO those soldiers in Pulp for her to place those figures, but I think it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
I like her on, Soldier Pulp for sure. Pete, you want to take Hal Jordan?
Yes, 030 Hal Jordan. He is Green Lantern Corps and Hyper Time. His keywords are Green Lantern Corps, Justice League, Time Masters, Future, Herald, Past, and Soldier. He is the Time Masters probability control trait, and then he also has a special defensive power on his first 3 clicks: energy shield, deflex, and toughness and willpower. He's either 70 or 40. 70 gets you 8 running shot, 11 Pensai, the special defensive power and enhancement. And he goes down for 30 points less. You get 2 less clicks, and he's then phasing TK and ESD, toughness, willpower. He's 5 range, flight. I think he's. Here's my thought for the set. There's a ton of probability control in this set.
Yeah.
And I think he actually probably gets looks at both lines. I don't know, the 2 clicks extra for 30 points, he makes him an attacker. He's really a pretty good little support piece for Green Lanterns at 40 points or any of the other keywords, because you have the Green Lantern team ability and you can face, you can just carry everybody wherever you want. And he also has TK and is still giving you probability control and has at least something to defend himself with to start with. So I think he's a pretty cool piece.
Yeah. Yeah, a soldier. That's another great thing for Pulp with the Green Lantern team ability. Giving that to Pulp for soldier, I think is really good.
And then who knows what we get out of the Lantern set next year too? That could make him a better support piece also. So
Yeah.
all right, next is 031 Superboy. He's got the Legion team ability, which is coming back, which is basically just team player, and then the Superman ally team ability, Kryptonian, Legion of Superheroes, and future keywords. He has a trait, Long Live the Legion, sidestep, once per turn for all characters with this trait. When a friendly character with the Legion of Superheroes keyword is damaged by an opposing game effect, roll a d6, and a friendly character with the Legion of Superheroes keyword modify the listed combat values by the listed amount until the end of your next turn. 1 through 3 is modify defense +1, 4 or 5 modify attack +1, 6 modify all combat values +1, and then another trait, other friendly characters with the Legion have Superman ally. He's got a 4 range with 1 bolt. He flies 75 points or 40. 75 starts him at a 10 charge, 11 quake, 18 invulnerability with a 4 empower, and then he would get KO'd on click 7. He's got 3 clicks of life on his 40-point dial, which is just sidestep, no attack power, 18 toughness, and 3 empower. I am not a fan.
I think they added that trait at the last minute.
Which one?
Why does he have the sidestep? Why does he have traded sidestep and sidestep?
And sidestep, yeah, I don't know.
That's a good point.
I'm also really surprised they didn't redo the Legion TA at this point.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, that was a miss too.
Yeah, like
that could have been Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that would have been perfect way to add that to the DC.
I agree.
I know that Guardians aren't future, whatever, but they are, space. I think that they're similar enough to where we don't need another team player.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what we have team player for. Like, it's
exactly. Yeah, that's why we've been slowly changing everything. Yeah, the Legion needs to be something else.
Yeah, since it's been gone for a while and coming back, this would have been the perfect time to do that.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't think I would ever play him anywhere. So, Miles, anything redeeming on this guy?
No. He gives Legion Superhero Superman. But then again, it's going to be a lot easier. There's going to be easier ways to get Superman for that, I think.
Yeah, there's somebody that's a Legion of Superheroes fan that's excited about this. I think that's cool for them. I'm not. There's nothing here. I mean,
they're excited for being a Superboy, but it's a disappointing Superboy Legion.
Yeah. All right, on to a Batman, Miles.
This is the best Batman. Yep, the best Batman. We have Batman Family, Gotham City, Past, and Pirate. He has the return of Bruce Wayne. He also has this is Gotham's Greatest Plunderer trait. When Batman hits with a close attack, if he didn't begin the turn on the map, choose an equipment equipped to a hit character and remove it from the game. I really like that.
It's a really good weapon.
Yeah, special speed power for his first 3 clicks. He's 7 clicks deep. Has blades throughout. 3 clicks of Mastermind into combat reflexes. 3 perplex with 2 damage, followed by 4 of exploit with 3. His last 4 have charge, and then his first 3 have this special speed power. Leap, climb, sidestep, passenger 3. But adjacent friendly characters have dolphin. Okay.
Oh, that's why?
Yes, but unfortunately, dolphin's not great in modern because of small maps. But the cool thing is that you don't even need to start him on the map. So there's going to be certain matchups that you could potentially see play. I think in Silver, he I really like him in silver. I like that ability. The adjacent friendly characters have Dolphin. Granted, I always play Blackbeard, so all my characters have Dolphin that have Pirate. So it's not going to really do much. But there's also going to be some figures that are going to be generating stuff that could use Dolphin. So the sidestep and the Passenger 3, I think, is really good too.
Well, just being able to remove equipment, that's huge also. Again, it's another Batman option that does something completely different for whatever scenario you need him for. So I think, yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
Do you want to take us to the next one, Dan?
Sure. All right. So this is the Witcher Batman. That's what I'm going to call it. So he's a bit different. He's got no move and attack starting up. He gets sidestep at the back end, but he has the Return of Bruce Wayne trait. He has got special attack power, which he's got on clicks 1 through 5, which is Smoke Cloud is free, but only to generate 2 markers. When Batman uses it, if he didn't begin the turn on the map, after resolutions deal 1 penetrating damage to opposing characters occupying those smoke markers. So that's pretty good. And then his damage power is special 2. He gets on the same clicks, so 1 through 5 is enhancement, and then Batman and adjacent friendly characters have safeguard mystics. That's pretty cool. So he's Force Blast, that special attack power, 19 defend, and then the damage power. And then his last 2 clicks are sidestep, side blast, willpower, and prob. So he's very much like the niche of like, hey, we're going against Mystic guys. Let me swap into this Batman so we can hit him without hurting ourselves.
Yeah, and the 19 defend. The 19 defend is huge too.
Mm-hmm. 19 defend is always good.
And keep him and a friendly person in hindering with the smoke cloud. So he does, again, just a bunch of options that one piece can do.
And this is great in pulp. I think that there's a chance even past, because you can get that Sergeant Rock, with past the Velociraptor. Past really isn't there in pulp, but I think these Batmans add a ton of options, especially if you want to play multiple Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Batman.
Did any of them get the soldier keyword?
I do not believe so.
He's got a pretty sweet hat.
I mean,
He does.
Again, he is the Witcher Batman. I was like, oh.
The one dressed up as a bat has a cooler hat, though.
That's the next Halloween costume, I'm telling you. That's what you should do. Cave bat.
Dan, you like the Morgan Le Fay also?
Yeah, I mean, I love this character. So I don't think she's meta, but I think she's cool. So she's either 125 or 50 points. I didn't realize she had a team up card, and the team up card makes me want to play her even more.
Because you can play her on any team she's on, which is really cool. This is actually one of the better team ups I've seen.
Yeah, but she's got Cosmic Energy and Mystics. She's got Armor, Mystical Pass, Ruler. She's got a trait, a special speed power, and a special attack power. Her special speed power is on clicks 1 through 3 and then 7. Her trait reads, when an opposing character within range is damaged by the Mystics TA, after resolutions you may heal a friendly character with a mystical keyword 1 click. That's pretty good. I mean, for certain months in the monthly, she could be really hard to kill.
Yeah, I like that.
And then she's got a speed power, which is the mind control sidestep. Opposing characters within range can't generate non-debris terrain. That's actually really funny. I know a guy that likes to rock a couple of rings and likes to spit out a lot of barrier. So that might come up. And then her special attack power, which is on her last click, is once per game, stop, steal energy. The first time this click is revealed, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to all opposing characters within 3 squares. That's pretty good. I mean, that could come up huge. So I like that a lot. Her team up card makes her even better. So her team up card is, when establishing theme teams, friendly characters with the Armor and Mystical keyword gain the Camelot keyword. It's a brand new keyword. If Morgan Le Fay is part of a Camelot theme team, when a friendly character damages an opposing character after resolutions, heal Morgan Le Fay 1 click. So she's just never gonna die, which I think is awesome. It's just like, try to kill her, I dare you.
Well, the cool thing too is now you get Prime Colossus on Mystical.
Yep.
That's the most important thing with this team up card. Because Prime Colossus now gains Mystical.
So for 50 points, no, he doesn't gain Mystical.
But what I mean is that he themed Mystical. Yeah. They do get Camelot, but yeah, you're able to put him with a Mystical theme team.
Yes, which is cool, but you still can't Blackheart him, so.
Dude, I think I think she's fringe meta, honestly, just with the team up card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
50 points is a lot because she's only sidestep, Psyblast, Exploit, and 17. But I mean, she's interesting. I like I said, I love the character, so this was really cool to see her get made. And the team up card makes, like I said, I didn't even know the team up card was a thing, and then I saw that, and I'm like, oh, well, this is even better than I already want this piece, and I'm like, this will make me play this even more.
Yeah, I didn't see it until
No,
right
I like
now.
the option of throwing mystical with Prime Colossus, because if this set is legal, there is going to be a world where you have Arachnite and Prime Colossus on a theme team, and that's just nasty.
I love that idea. Just, what do you deal with?
Yeah, and you can also throw on Kong. So yeah, there's
My only thing is that I
There's a
don't
lot.
like her low dial at 50, and
Yeah.
I like her 125 point dial, but again, that's a lot of points.
Well, my only thing, she has a lot of points. I'm not saying like meta, but at least like generally, like she's a 19 invincible with cosmic energy, and she's outwit. Like, I don't think that's bad. That's a lot to chew through. So
Well, the 50-point line I like with the team up card because it's when a friendly character damages an opposing character, you just heal her. So she's just gonna be that much harder to kill.
Yeah.
And so I mean, yeah, and like I said, with her bringing Prime Colossus, I think that is very, very good because there's a lot of figures that we still have to go over for super rares and all that stuff. Even post rotation with mystical that would work amazing with Prime Colossus. I know you're paying an extra 50 points, but I think it's worth it.
You're 240 with her at 50, Kong, Colossus, and Arachnite at 60.
Yeah.
You still have all the mysticals and armor stuff to fill out your last 60 points.
Well, and then you also got to look at how silver is going to be because now Prime Colossus on mystical and silver is just that much more of a problem.
That's not a problem. That's just a strong team.
That's what I mean. That's of course, yeah. No, that's just the fact that she gets Prime Colossus to theme with mystical, I think is exactly why she's going to be playable. Probably more so in silver, but I think there could be something in modern.
And Arachnite's moving to silver, so that's great.
I'm just,
Yeah.
if he
just glad
doesn't,
we're getting good team up cards because there's been some real duds.
yeah,
this what is needed.
yeah. When I saw this, I was like, well, this is a team up card that anytime I'm playing her, I'm literally just gonna play the team up card.
Right,
So,
every time.
Yeah, I was like, this is just great. So yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, like I said, I dig it a lot, but she's not like hard meta or anything. But she's cool, and that's like the biggest thing. She hasn't been made in, I don't know if she's been made like in so
Has
long.
DC ever had a version, or has it always been the Marvel version?
I think so, but it's been a long time.
Next is Robin, who's 035. He's got the Batman Ally team ability, the Batman Family, Gotham City, League of Assassins, Teen Titans, Assassin, Marksman, Martial Artist, keywords. He has a trait, Watch and Learn. Once per turn when Robin hits, choose a friendly character that shares a keyword with Robin and a power printed on his card. That character can use the chosen power until your next turn. And then another trait, competitive to a fault. Once per turn for all characters with this trait, when a friendly character that shares a keyword with Robin misses, after resolutions, Robin may make an attack targeting the missed character if able. He has improved movement elevated and improved targeting hindering. 2 bolts for range. He has a 60-point dial and a 30-point dial. 60-point is 6 clicks of life. Starts with a running shot, running shot with 8 speed, 11 precision strike, 18 super senses, and range combat expert. And then very different dial at 30 points. It's a charge, 8 speed, 11 precision strike, 17 combat reflexes, and a 2 close combat expert. I actually think this guy looks like a lot of fun.
He's meta.
Yeah.
That martial artist with Prime Kingpin at 30 points is insane because if you actually look at the martial artists and what you get for 30 points or less, the Daredevils, for instance, I think there's something really good there. He'll be a 13 for 4 with Prime Kingpin.
With toughness, that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. And then in one per turn, when you hit, you choose a friendly character that shares a keyword with them. So now you can have a Daredevil or anyone have precision strike.
Right.
I feel pretty dumb for asking this, but I don't think they can use the stealth granted by the Batman TA for his first trait, right?
No, it's
it's
not
not
printed.
printed.
That's what I thought. I was like, because I was referencing the printed on the card thing. I'm like, well, the TA is on the card, but I was like, no, it has to be like one of the squares on the dial on the card.
Yeah.
But what you could do is, even though he's 30 points, you could give him like running shot, range combat expert, or super senses still, or enhancement.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
And then
I think he's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the second trait too is really cool too. Just if Robin misses, then after resolutions he can make an attack.
Oh no!
Wait.
It's a friendly character that shares a CUR with him. Misses. Oh yeah, I guess that is himself too. Yeah.
The interesting thing too about that watch and learn interaction with Kingpin is that if Kingpin moves him and then he makes an attack, because I believe it's just make an attack, he can actually trigger it and himself give himself running shot, and he gets or range combat extra or whatever, and he's also able to make a second attack.
He's got a hit, but yeah, that could work. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got a hit. Yeah, because he'll move 2 squares, and then I believe Kingpin is just make an attack. Or is it close? Can't remember. I gotta look that up.
This is probably my
him with
favorite.
front team,
This is probably my favorite Robin though that we've ever gotten.
Nope, they make an attack. So yeah, you move Robin that, and he has the 4 range or 5 range, and then so he has a 7 square reach to start off with to make a free attack, and then he can make another one. So yeah, no, I really do. Yeah, this is one of the best Robins I think we've ever seen.
I would say playable in any format and great keywords.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets a look at on most keywords. Assassin, marksman, absolutely. He's a great piece.
Pete,
you don't really lose the first trait, or the second trait. Even with him being, you don't lose either with him being 30 points. You get both of them essentially.
Right.
Yeah. On the card. Yeah. So automatically gets a look. Great piece.
Yeah, stealth and the improved abilities too are great. Do you want to take Green Arrow, Pete?
I do. Green Arrow, JLA, team player, Justice League 7 soldiers, Star City detective and marksman. Longbow hunter is his attack power. Precision strike when Green Arrow is given a range action. He may modify his range +3. If he does, he cannot target more than one character this action. That's pretty incredible. And then he has a damage power tracking the Robin Hood killer. Range combat expert when Green Arrow attacks, opposing characters can't use mastermind or shape change. He's got improved targeting, elevated, hindering, and can shoot out of adjacency. He's got 6 range triple targets, 75 points or 50 points. 75 points gives you sidestep 12, 18, and 3. And then you go down to CLIX and you get running shot, pensai. More of a traditional Green Arrow, ESD, and probability control. And he comes with a team up card, which might also be another good team up card. Can we go 2 in a row? Yes, we can. And then it's split the arrow. Team up. If Green Arrow's on a marksman themed team and a friendly character hits with a range attack, note the attack roll. When a friendly character attacks and the attack roll matches an attack roll noted this turn, the attack is a critical hit. That's kind of cool. And then same other stuff that he had before. I like him a lot. I do. This is probably one piece that I will definitely want from the set. I will probably seek out the team up card also. I just think he's a wildly fun piece. I'm probably looking at him at 75 every time because just to be able to give 9 range.
Yeah.
For one target is unbelievable. So
Detective is great too because Detective's losing a lot, but by gaining him, you have him and Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
That's just nasty.
I mean, you look at him for your arrows, right? Like, so this is the guy that's your sniper. You hit with the arrows, and then you start the shenanigans with the trick arrows.
Yeah.
So So I think he's a cool piece.
I mean, you hit 12 for 4, and then you pop the trick arrow. That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, in range at top dial.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all.
No.
11 range with the sidestep.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he has that to where opposing characters can't use shape change or mastermind. That's huge.
Yep. So yeah, I like him at full too, and it's another hit for the team up card. Well done.
Yep.
It's nice to see playable team up cards because for a while there, it just felt like they were fluff. They were just kind of like, all right, they're there, but they're not very good.
Yeah, we had one close with Young Avengers, but Necro Sword started seeing more play, so that one made it really hard for it to be good.
I don't think we've seen a bad team up card yet for the set, have we? No, they all been kind of
The cinnamon one's not great.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We did
Yeah,
see
it's true.
one
That's
bad
true.
one.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? You guys forgot the whole first part of the podcast. The last two have been good though, for sure.
Yeah, the rares have been stellar team of cards.
Well, I
Yeah.
think Anthro's team up card is actually, decent as well.
Yeah, I didn't lump him in with the bad team up cards. I think Booster Gold
Yeah.
is
Cinnamon.
probably fine,
Yeah.
but it's a Time Masters thing that's probably seeing play one time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not
So-
that the team up card was bad, it's just that,
Yeah.
Either way, they're a
Theme
step
is.
in the right direction, I think, as far as team up
I
cards
think so.
go.
Agree.
Dan, do you want to take both Etrigan?
Oh yeah, 'cause I was so excited that I got to see this piece because he has not been made since what was it? Was he also World's Finest or something or Trinity War? Either way, it's been a long time.
I feel like you were a little disappointed when you saw 37A.
Oh, I did because it was like I was like, well, if this is the only version I'm getting, because I was thinking the B side was gonna be like Jason Blood, and I'm like, okay, well, this is pretty bad, but I'm still happy he got made, right? So 37A is either 100 points or 30 points. He's got the Mystics TA. He's got Justice League Dark, Shadow Pact Monster, Mystical Past Warrior. He's got a special speed power and a special attack power. The special speed power is, I'm going to describe this piece in one word, and the phrase is all over the place. His dial just, to me, makes no sense. So his special speed power is on clicks 3 and 5. It makes sense for click 5 because that's his 30-point starting line, but it's so random. And then his special attack power appears on clicks 1 and 2, and then 6 and 7. So his special speed power is Charge and Flurry, which is good. And then his attack power is Energy Explosion, Precision Strike. When Etrigan damages an opposing character after resolutions, you may generate a Fire Smoke terrain marker in their square. At the beginning of your next turn, even if this power is lost, deal 1 damage to each character occupying those markers, then remove those markers. So that's pretty cool. It fits. I like the pull over back from like Wheels of Vengeance, so that's pretty cool. He's for 100 points. You start with Running Shot, the attack power, Invincible, and Perplex, and then he shifts to Prob, and then he goes to that special speed power with Blades and Toughness and Exploit. And he's got a couple clicks of phasing, which is just odd, with Blades and Regen and Exploit. And then his 30-point line, you start with the Charge Flurry, and then Blades, Toughness, and Exploit. And then he goes either Running Shot and that attack power or phasing, and then Invincible, and then Regen. So like I said, his dial feels a little random to me as far as like where stuff lands, but it's fine. He's the A side, so I get what they were going for here.
I think he's a lot of fun at his 100-point dial, but then super meta with the other pieces that we've mentioned before with Kingpin at that 30-point dial. Charge Flurry, with the ability for Kingpin to get him going again.
And he
definitely gets put on my list.
And he still has 4 range, so like you can do the Kingpin thing. He can shoot something and then charge Flurry in and try to mop him up. So I don't think he's bad.
And then he'll combo even with Kingpin with his Prime, if you want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, the Prime is like meta is the best way I can put that. But he doesn't combo with Prime Kingpin because you can't bring him in off the sideline because you can only have the one.
I was excited about that. You're right.
Well,
Never mind.
Sorry to like bash you over the head with the rules.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for ruining it and telling us how to play this game with their rules.
I know.
I hate you.
I know.
Sidestep is still 2, for the record.
So this is how we're gonna play it then, right? We're gonna play by the rules. Okay, I see how it is.
All right, so he is either 115 or 75. This is a Prime, by the way. It's not just like a B-side. He's Cosmic Energy and Mystics. He's got Gotham City, Justice League Dark, Shadow Pact Monster, Mystical Past, and Warrior. He's got a trait, a special attack power, a special defense power. His trait is Sideline Active. When a friendly character with a mystical or past keyword hits, and the attack roll was 10 or more after resolutions, you may replace that character with Etrigan from your sideline on his red starting line, which is his 75-point starting line. If that friendly character was named Etrigan, then turn Etrigan to his green starting line, and that becomes his starting line this game, and deal 1 penetrating damage to each adjacent opposing character. So that's really, really good. Like, you've hit somebody, and then he comes in and just hurts them even further. So
It just sucks that it's a 10 or higher.
yeah,
But,
I don't know. I like I just kind of like that it's a native thing that's happening during the game. I don't know.
I like that
but
change also.
it's really cool too. Yeah, it's really cool. That you're able to do that on just mystical or pass, not just Etrigan. So yeah, I think he's a sideline option that I think is 100%. Like you said, it's meta.
Oh, definitely.
Because there's times where you're like, you know what, I'm not really digging this prime on my main force. Etrigan's got to be it.
Yeah, if this is legal for Worlds, I'm definitely putting this on my sideline over Absorbing Man. So,
Yeah, same. I'm debating that also.
But his attack power is Blade's Claws, Poison, and Precision Strike. That appears on clicks 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. And then his special defense power, which is pretty cool too, is Stop, Super Sense's Toughness, Power, roll a d6. 1 to 2 is deal him 1 unavoidable. 3 through 5 is heal 2 clicks, and 6 is heal 3 clicks, then deal 3 damage to an opposing character within range. That's 5 range. I love gambling in this game with single d6s, so I will roll that every time.
I will not, because I will kill him. He'll kill himself every time I play him.
I'll hit the 6 and be like, all right, we're gonna heal 3 clicks.
Well, that's why if you have the star up, boom.
Oh, the star. Oh god.
That's when you roll a 2.
So, but he starts either point line with running shot, side blast, invincible prob, which is that's really good starting off. And then he goes to running shot, side blast, senses, and prob, and then his 2 clicks his last 2 clicks are charge, the special attack power, and then the senses or the stop click, and then exploit. This is a fantastic prime. Like, they've been knocking the primes out of the park. This is another like really like he's unique in and of himself of like how he operates on top of just being good. Like you could field him either on the field, like not in like modern constructed, but I mean maybe post rotation. I don't know. I have to see how things shake out, but I think his real kicker is the sideline stuff. But,
I like how they're giving us sideline actives that are actually like different.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The character thing. I really like that.
And he's not just a pure benefit because you're replacing like whoever you hit with. So like
for 100,
I might not want to do that with my like whatever mystical piece that I just hit with. You know, he's just but it's a good option because he comes in on his starting line. So say your mystical piece is weak, but they hit on their last click or whatever, and then you swap them in, and suddenly he's top dial for his 75-point line. That's
well, and this is like where you want to look at it, like with Blackheart, for instance. Blackheart's already he's already deployed your figures. He's now essentially useless, and this is 100% where like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do your pulse wave. You roll a 10, all of a sudden he becomes prime Etrigan.
Yeah,
and so yeah, it benefits multiple pieces that are only useful for like one thing, and then now you're like, oh, they're just sitting ducks. Meanwhile, you can bring an Etrigan, and all of a sudden he's now useful.
Yeah, he is 25 more points if they score him, so they'll get.
That's
70
fine.
points.
Yeah, I definitely do that compared to the easy 50 points that is Blackheart.
So easy.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I completely agree because he's got a good stop click with a reducer on it, so it's hard to kill him. You know, he can heal.
Yeah, and then starts with invincible. Like, yeah, they actually have to sink in attacks. They can't just be like, oh, psychic blast for 4. Okay, you're dead. You know, there's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they actually have to try. So I do like that.
No, yeah, I love this piece. I almost bought him today. I was so close.
I saw that.
I was like, I messaged Looper and I was like, "Did you just?" And he went, "Yeah." And
like, he got him. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, if it was anybody but you, I might have been mad. But Looper, I'm like, you know what? Good on you.
Yeah, I love the monster, mystical, and warrior keywords on him too. So I really want to try to get him to work the A side and be able to turn him into the prime. But like Miles said too, there's just good options that you can turn him into better than like Blackheart or something like that. So you got to keep that in your mind also. Miles,
so there was me being all excited for Etrigan. So
no, I'm excited for this piece for sure.
Excited. Yeah, it's one of my top 5 wants with that.
Yep, I would say so too. Miles, you want to take Supergirl?
Yes, this piece I think is actually going to be insane, potentially with Silver. She's got Kryptonian, Cosmic, Future, and Warrior, Superman, and Cosmic Energy. As a trait, when another friendly character is damaged by an attack, if Supergirl hasn't healed them yet this turn, after resolutions, heal that character with 1 click. Yes, that works great with the APOC and Genesis Future. That means you maybe need to trigger your Soul Sword. She She's 100 or 70 points, 6 range, improved movement, elevated, destroy blocking, and characters. She has a start with sidestep, blades, senses, and has 3 damage, 8, 11, 17, 3. Click 3, she goes to running shot, super strength with 12, 12. 19 defense with a special defense, which is stop, impervious, and 4 damage, with her special damage power, which is when Supergirl attacks or is attacked by one or more characters with giant or colossal, you modify her combat values +1 until your next turn. Her 70-point line starts with hypersonic, 7, 12 super strength, 18 invincible, and 4 damage with that special attack power. She has 7 total clicks. She has a stop click on click 7. I think giving her a sword, especially if she's modern, and playing her with APOC and Genesis is just nuts. Because you're essentially giving everybody a soul sword. And APOC and Genesis get 2 triggers for their soul sword. Because if they've been damaged, then Supergirl heals them.
At 70 points.
Yeah, 70 points. I think it's worth it.
She's hard to kill. I mean, she's hard to kill for 70 points. She does have cosmic.
Yeah, and if you give her the Warlock sword, you're giving her blades for another rollout. She has printed 4, so that's going to be hard, for close attackers. Not impossible, but it needs a 5 or a 6. She has super strength, 12 attack with blades, and you're also giving her shape change. So yeah, no, I really do like her, especially with the APOC Genesis combo. Most likely going to be happening in silver. But if you're doing APOC Genesis in silver, I think you really need to look at her.
And you can't outwit her blades either, so yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you pack on Death Metal Wonder Woman. So now you're reviving something.
Oh, this seems like a this
Sounds
seems
like a nightmare.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is,
well, that Death Metal Wonder Woman, though.
There's already things being formulated here. So
if she fails her super senses and she gets to her stop click after resolutions, you heal her. So now they need to sink 2 more attacks into her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this Supergirl, especially with figures with stop clicks, just is an insane combination.
Yeah, I mean, she might get a look just for that. Like, I might need to pick this up just for that shenanigans because I like the warrior keyword and.
Yeah, and she's a rare. Like, that's the best thing about it is that we're getting such good playable rares. Like, yeah, I'm loving it. And I know she's 70 points, but what she brings to the team, I think she totally makes up for it for being 70 points.
Now that you say that, we have not gotten a bad rare yet.
Oh, just wait.
Yeah.
Oh man!
All right. So speaking of which, we have 039 Nighthawk, marksman in past. He has the quick draw trait, and then he's got another trait, bonded through destiny, unique modifier, friendly characters named Cinnamon,
Cinnamon team up.
Hawk Curl, or Shira Hall, modify attack +1. He's got a special attack power, precision strike, free, make a range attack, but only to target a character that hit with a range attack since your last turn. He is only 40 points. Running shot, 11 attack with that special attack power on the first 3 clicks, 17 ESD, and 3 empower, and then a 5 range when bolts.
He's not a bad 40 points. Let's just say that.
It's not
he's
terrible.
not a bad
No,
40
but yeah,
points.
if you look at the other rares, then you're just going to be disappointed if he's your rare.
Yeah, you are.
That's the problem with how good all these rares are. I mean, give me Robin over him 100% of the time.
All day, every
Like,
day.
there's not a single rare.
You know who else is 40 points? Lady Mastermind.
Yeah, Lady Mastermind. Yep.
I will
Who would
say
you
he's
play?
better. He's much better than Lady Mastermind because he has move and attack his whole dial.
He is, but with how good all the rares are besides him,
Oh yeah.
it's almost like that, just the ugh of pulling a Lady Mastermind.
Yeah, every single
That's
rare is really good.
See, I think if he had like the double circles with the line through it for ranged attacks, he'd be really good because then like you could shoot, carry him up, make use of the empower, and then let him make a free attack. That would have made him so much better. But
Yeah,
this is where we're at. So
it's
You
still a
can
deep
still
dial.
carry him and just make sure he's not. Yeah,
oh yeah, that was just my thought of been make it easy to be able to use him. They're just like, well, just give him the double circles with the line through it.
He's 100% not bad. He's not bad. He's just not as good as everything else that we've seen.
He's just the worst of all the
that's
rares.
the thing is that
Yeah.
and
The rares set a
He
high
does
bar
have
in this set.
they
does have-
really did.
He does have a sweet shirt.
He sure does, and mask and hat.
Yeah.
Is it as sweet as the next guy's shirt though? I don't know.
No. The next guy.
Pete,
The
do you want
next
to take
guy's a
him?
thing. I do. Paradegaton. Hyper Time and Team Player, Injustice Society, Time Stealers, Future, Past, Scientist, and Soldier. Boy, those are all really good keywords. Well, most of them.
Yeah. All of them
Return
are.
to Torment the JSA again and again. Pair Degaton starts the game with a time disc token for each 20 points of his point value. If Pair Degaton has a time disc token when he would be KO'd by an opposing effect, instead turn him to a starting line different than the one he most recently chose and remove a time disc token from him. Then if he has no time disc tokens, KO him. Protected Pulse Wave. He has another trait, History will be ours. During game setup, after your opponent has placed their characters, you may choose an opposing character and place it in any other square of its starting area. That's sneaky good. And then
That's
he
why
also
he's
has
playable.
probability control. And when an opposing character misses per Degaton or rolls a 1 for 2 for his hyper time after resolutions, deal them 1 penetrating damage. He has improved movement blocking. CLIX, he has improved targeting. CLIX and can shoot out of adjacency. He's got 3 distinct lines. Sidestep TK. Super Senses Leadership, which I think is probably where he starts most games. Then he has Sidestep Poison, Super Senses Outwit, and then he has Sidestep Pensai, Super Senses, and Empower. I don't think you play him at 20, because if I understand this correctly, he gets 1 time disc token, so you kill him once and he's gone. I think 40 is really where you look at, and I think he's really easy to fit on a lot of teams as leadership right away at 40.
Did you
I
read
think
his
at
last-
20 points, he's even good enough.
No,
Yeah, did you read his
100%.
last-
I think even just KOing him once, I still think you play him at 20. Because he's still bringing leadership. He has a rollout. He's bringing TK.
I
For
think it
20
depends
points.
on the team, right? I mean,
It does, but I mean, the point denial is sort of like with the Daredevil. I think that it's even though you only get him KO him once for 20 points, what he brings for that 20 points is just insane.
Leadership,
great.
leadership, TK, and flight, and then the ability to change the figure during game setup and
Leadership.
placement.
Leadership, TK, and Prob.
Did we read his last trait? Because I can't remember if we did or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probability control.
I was gonna say that prob.
Yeah,
That
20
prob
points. 100%. I
Yeah.
think that you always play him at 20. 40 points. I think that you could do an argument for 40, but I have no problem with people just running him at 20 points,
I
even if he gets KO once.
Well, I
I
think
think
that's
there's time at 40 where the poison outwit is huge. Like,
Yeah.
depending on the game. I think he's awesome. He's one of my main ones.
Yeah, this guy's gonna
Yeah.
see a lot of play. Thankfully, he's unique.
yeah. I was gonna say. Whew.
Surprised. I'm honestly surprised
I mean, yeah.
with the
I think-
figures that we've gotten.
See, and I don't think he's broken like in pulp. Like, yeah, he's hard to kill, but like he's not like I don't know. Like
I don't think he's broken, period. I think that what it does is you're going to have a lot of people that are... This is where it's going to be... People are going to say that he's one of the worst figures created because they spend months and months practicing placement and just to go against a per Degaton that just completely throws that off. And so now they got to scramble to figure out what they're going to do.
I mean, that's fine. Like, I don't know. I don't really hate that. I don't know. Yeah.
Don't
I
forget-
don't either. I just know some people are very sticklers on like placement and all that stuff. And it's, per Degaton, just boom, done.
He
Sorry.
also has team player too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
team player.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Who doesn't
he's
want
the
to
best 20 points in the game right now.
I
I
was
think
gonna say-
that I don't think there's another figure that's 20 points. Even a Daredevil played at 20 points. I don't think is better than him at 20.
Yeah.
Is this the piece that most likely sees the most play right out of the gate when the set releases?
I think so.
I think that or reverse flash. Yeah.
That's still you're picking your prime. I think this guy makes because every time rotation happens too, you lose so many sets.
Yeah.
So 20-point leadership. I think this guy is probably the piece that pops up the most.
He kind of replaces Legacy GL a bit. Like he's not the same, but he does a lot of the same stuff.
I mean, he was on a bunch of my teams just for that 20-point leadership, so I would say so.
Yeah.
And the keywords for soldier and scientist and past, like those three are always soldiers starting to get there. Scientist, they're losing a lot, but I think they're also gaining some. And past, I think, is just slowly becoming one of the top builds that no one's using at the moment.
Yeah, this guy's easily one of the best pieces in the set. Dan, do you want to start with the 041 flash?
Sure, this is a piece I would definitely play just to see how infuriated I can make people. So he is 041A. He has 70 points. He's got a trait and a special speed power. This is a Barry Allen Flash. So it's his first trait is Shape Change, which succeeds on a 4 through 6. When Flash uses it and succeeds, after resolutions, place him in a square within line of fire, up to 5 squares away from his current square. Hey, so you can't hit me, and I'm gonna go over there. That's pretty good. And then he's got a special speed power, which is on clicks 1 through 4. Is hypersonic speed. When Flash uses it, he has improved movement. Walks through blocking and can go up elevated. And then when he attacks during it, characters within 1 square are considered adjacent to him, regardless of terrain. So he can hit through walls, which is pretty cool. So I dig that. He's not hitting for a lot. Like he's basically a 13-3 top dial, but I mean, that's still really cool. You don't have to get adjacent to people. You can just hit somebody behind a wall if they're trying to hide there. So I think that's pretty neat. This is a cool Flash. Like they've done. He also has the Hyper Time TA. He's got Justice League, Future Past, Police, Scientist, and Speedster. Flash is one of those things where they made enough of them where I'm always worried. I'm thinking like, oh, we'll get something similar to what's been made. I don't think I've seen something like this yet. So this is pretty cool.
Very unique Flash. I like it.
Yeah.
So he does not ignore characters though when he uses hypersonic speed.
Yeah, you'll get the double circle.
Well, you get it from hypersonic.
Oh yeah,
all right. Breakaway. Yeah,
that's
but
right.
you'll have to. But that's the thing. As long as you can get it where you're like behind a wall or something, you can. You don't have to break away from people then. So.
Oh no,
You're
actually
pissed
no.
if somebody. You're pissed if somebody was playing this against you in sealed because they're just hitting you through walls the whole time.
Yeah.
You never put this guy in danger. You just
No,
take
exactly.
1 damage and run
No,
off.
exactly. Yeah, you just or the 3. He's got a 13 for 3 with precision strike. Like you hit a super sense piece. All right. Well, I've just done 3 damage to this piece, and I'm going away now.
Just the fact that this
know,
piece exists and there's Dan, there will be an all-black Necrosword in every one of my builds going forward.
Well, you also look at this too, and you're like, well, Brock's bunker all of a sudden doesn't look so good, and then you realize there's a 5-point piece that completely neuters this piece.
Oh man, yeah, that's fair. You're not wrong.
Nifty traffic barrel.
And that is why I quake destroy that traffic barrel every time.
Nope, that's why you need someone to pick it up. You never just leave it there.
I think 70 points is still a lot, and you're always going to compare this guy to the Wonder Woman 80 Flash. I think the big thing is I would just like to see his shape change trait be protected outwit. But other than that, I think he is pretty cool.
But yeah, it's funny though, because those Wonder Woman 80 chases or super rares, 3 of them are 70 points.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, I don't know, like it's just a different thing. Like I do like him. I think he's really good. But like I'm not saying he's meta. I just like it's a unique version of the Flash, and it's pretty. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
I don't like that he just doesn't ignore characters though too. Even if he's got to break away after the hypersonic speed, I don't like that because the Prime does here. So 41B, everything bad thing. It was me, Barry. Every bad thing, it was me, Barry. Another sideline active.
Bad thing. What?
Yeah, everything bad thing.
Yeah, so I did say it right, and it's weird. Okay, everything bad thing. It was
That's
me,
my
Barry.
new saying.
Everything bad thing.
Everything bad thing.
All right, so it's
everything bad thing.
Sideline active at the beginning of the game. Choose an opposing character. When that character attacks and misses all targets, after resolutions, you may generate reverse flash from your sideline on click 4 adjacent to that character. This game, as long as both characters are on the map, reverse flash can only attack the chosen character. So that way he's free on your sideline. A very cool way to have a sideline active piece. I really like that. But he's also just really good. So I think you could easily make the case that you put him on your main force. So at 40 points, he ignores characters from movement. He has a special speed power, which is hypersonic speed. When reverse flash uses it, he may use flurry as free instead of making an attack. 12 precision strike, 18 super senses, and then a 3 with a special damage power, which is probability control and shape change. So he is just a crazy good 40 points also.
I think that there's an argument for both.
Yeah, you could do.
I think the only time you put him on the sideline is if you don't have quite the points that you want,
right?
Because you know that you can build without him, knowing that you can get him on the sideline. That's the only time. But
I mean, one TK
no
that
problem.
has in the back of the map on the 16x16s. So, like,
He
that's
can be
pretty good.
healed too, so you can always
yeah.
bring him in and just heal him, and then you get him on for free. So that's really good as well.
I love him. I love flash pieces, and dude, Eobard Thrawn is the pettiest man in comics. Like this guy is the chief petty officer. Like all the stuff that he's gone back through and did to Barry over time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
you talk about
is
everything
incredible.
bad thing. Yeah, everything bad.
Everything
thing.
bad thing.
he put
Everything
the
bad.
capital P in petty. It's like, whew.
I love him. 40 points. I'll play him at 40. Yeah, absolutely.
I can't get over that trait.
No, everything bad thing.
All right, Miles, you want to take GI Robot?
Yes. I love this figure. He has past robot soldier. He has a formidable resolve, and so he gets +1 for each token removed. He has that free to remove one of those tokens. He's 10 clicks deep with 3-point values: 115, 75, and 40. 115, he has 4 range, 1 bolt for all lines, but he starts 8, 12, 19, 3 with charge, super strength, invulnerability, and enhancement. Then click 3, he gets flurry, drops to an 11, special attack and special damage and special defense power. The defense power is stop toughness. When GI Robot uses it, you may remove any number of formidable resolve tokens from him. If you do, reduce damage by an additional 1 for each formidable resolve token removed this way. And then he has close combat expert. When a GI Robot KOs a non-standard character after resolutions, you heal him 1 click. 75 points is charge, super strength, toughness, outwit, 6, 11, 18, 3. And then his 40-point line is sidestep, super strength, combat reflexes, empower, 5, 11, 17, 3. I think you honestly might be looking at playing him in pulp at 115 points. I think this is just a nasty temp pull.
Yeah, he's one of the
3
better,
stop clicks.
higher costed ones, I think, that's actually playable at the high line.
Well, the only other character that's similar to him in pulp right now is Moon Knight, and Moon Knight's 200 points. GI Robot is 115.
Similar, a little bit more higher costed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was also thinking post-rotation. But the cool thing, too, is that he actually themes with Moon Knight, so you can just like play him at 75 points with Moon Knight, and all of a sudden he has 2 stop clicks, Moon Knight has 3 stop clicks, and that's just gonna be rough to try and get through all 3 of those. And then Soldier, throw on per Degaton as well for the TK.
Yeah.
Talk me into not playing a pulp thing as quick as possible. And 1 team, Miles, you just did it. Thanks.
Just play it.
Not play pulp? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm good. After explaining that, I'd be like, well, there's no way to beat this team, actually.
I think there's plenty of ways to beat this team. It could be worse. You could have Blackheart, Necron, and Orb, and Sinister, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I like me some Blackheart and Necron action. Don't get me wrong, but like I get that that's not super balanced.
No, Moon Knight and GI Robot. Okay, that's it. That's the future.
I do have some bad
or
news.
even him at 115 is just disgusting. Especially if he's legal for World's Pulp, you 100% play him with that. I guess you can play him at 40, but I prefer to play him at 115 with that Falcon. Place him.
Yeah, I like that better at 115.
Yeah, he's just the 3 stop clicks are just disgusting.
I just like that we have a damage part that says punching the dinosaurs.
Yes. Yes.
I also like that his defense power is we can rebuild him. Like, what is he, the $1 million man?
Yeah.
He's
GI Robot.
He's Jake too.
Yeah.
I do have some bad news. The everything bad thing is a typo on HC units. It is not a typo on his actual card. The one time I want there to be a typo.
Yes, that you know what, Wiz Kids? Yeah.
That's
honestly an errata worth having.
I agree.
I think so. Everything bad thing. And play, if you're listening to this, do not change it.
Leave it.
Because everything bad thing.
All right, Pete. Let's wrap up here. We got 2 more. Do you want to take Black Beetle?
I got you. 43A Black Beetle, Time Stealer's future mystical past. Real name unknown. Changing history. During game setup, you may place your opponent's terrain markers. Sign me up, baby. Altered history free once per game. Generate a terrain marker of 5 points or less from your sideline. And then he has a damage power, empower enhancement. Adjacent friendly characters modify attack +1. He's 75 points. 6 range, 2 target flight, running shot, energy explosion, impervious, and then that damage power. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I do too, because you know what terrain marker's 5 points? Nifty traffic barrel.
Yeah, that actually is a great counter to that 5-point barrel.
I thought it was an object, wasn't it?
No, it's technically a terrain now.
Objects are terrain.
Yeah, objects
Yeah.
are a subset of terrain. So,
But yeah,
Okay.
he changes that. But no, you're actually able to build a full 300-point team and cheat on a nifty traffic barrel with him. So
Oh,
Still
yeah.
won't do it.
that's even better. Yeah.
that's what I was going for, because you really don't want to set up their nifty traffic barrels. I guess you could.
Wait,
but
no, you absolutely. You
hurts
put
you
it right
if
next to your
doesn't.
team, and then you blow it up. You're up 5 points, and there's no traffic barrel. You absolutely do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
absolutely. You put all the terrain in a corner away from where anybody wants it, and you generate the cheese pizza of death under actioned out characters. It's just
Yeah,
watch.
but no, I mean you get 300 points. This is cheating on the nifty traffic barrel for your team. Is it worth 75 points? I'm not quite sure.
How many
But-
terrain markers can you have on your sideline? Does that take up a sideline space?
it does.
Yes, it will.
That does it. Okay.
So you can put 6 up there if you wanted to have options, but I don't know if you will or not.
No, that's never gonna happen. I mean, maybe 1 or 2, but he's still good. Like empower enhancement.
Yeah.
Adjacent characters modify attack +1. Like that's great.
I just like the you can place your opponent's terrain because again, we have a guy here who likes to rock a lot of the terrain, and that's always funny because I have a piece that I've done that too, and he tries to kill him every time I play him.
I'm right there with you, but you know what? If you're going to be playing Black Beetle, by all means, can't wait to see what else you have built with him.
Always mystical.
The 75 points
I
is
know
rough.
he's also 75 points.
But
Yeah, but
he
he's
offers a
mystical
lot.
and power enhancement. He offers a lot, and he's changing maps, which is kind
Mhm.
of one of the cool things of this set. Is there's seems to be a few things that do that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
post rotation there could be something there. I just like him cheating on me that 5-point nifty traffic barrel. So that makes him like 70 points.
I like it too. All right, last piece of the day is going to be the third prime of the set for the rares. It's 043B, Blue Beetle. He's got the Mystics team ability, Teen Titans, Armor, Mystical. Keywords, he's got a trait, Threat Neutralization, free, choose an opposing character within range and line of fire and a standard power. That character can't use the chosen power until Blue Beetle chooses again. He's got another trait, Implicate Order Annihilation Field, range, make a range attack targeting a single character with a point value equal to or less than Blue Beetle's point value. If Blue Beetle hits, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled or replaced. 1 through 4, damage from this attack is penetrating, and after resolutions, give the hit character an action token. 5 or 6, instead of normal damage, remove the hit character from the game. Characters removed from the game are scored. And then he's got a special attack power, which is threat adaptation, free. Choose a standard attack power. Blue Beetle can use that power until your next turn. So he's got 2 point values, 75 and 45. You probably only really play him at 75, I think, or you just don't play him. It's an 8 running shots, 11 with that special attack power, 19 invulnerability, and a 4 with prob, and then a 6 range with 2 bolts. So that's, I think, the trait where you just can basically remove anyone from the game, especially with Kongs being prevalent. That's the number one reason I think you play him right there. Unfortunately, at 45 points, he's a charge piece, and he's only got 1 click of that special attack power, and then it's just an 18 toughness with the 3 exploit. And that's neutralization, or what is it, the Implicate Order Annihilation Field, that one where you just remove a character if you roll a 5 or 6. It has to be a range attack, so then you're just trying to make it from 6 away. So I don't think that he's playable.
I mean, there is
45.
15 points. Like if you're trying to save some points, you can put the motorcycle on him. But yeah, I still don't think he's useful at 45 because who in the meta right now, or even competitively, even post rotation, is he going to be able to use that attack power against at 45 points or less?
Right.
Support
They're
pieces.
not. Well, yeah, but
They
And
also
it's not worth it
just
at
die
that
to
point.
3 damage a lot of times.
Yeah, and then it's not worth it at that point. So you have to play him at 75.
Yeah, it's like
He's
Colossus.
great.
You play him at 80 or you don't play him at all. You play this guy at 75, you build the team around him, or you don't play him and you make another team.
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
not.
he's not a plug and play piece. He is. I'm not even gonna say he's meta. He's competitive because meta pieces to me is that you can just plug and play like per Degaton, whereas him you build around him. So I think he's highly competitive, S tier competitive, but I wouldn't say he's meta. He doesn't really replace anything. He is his own thing, and you build around him.
He's not broken. You can handle him.
No,
He gives you a 33% chance of killing something less point value than him if they hit. So he's very cool, but I think he's just another great prime from this set. So
And again,
I'm-
he's not like hard to kill either. Like he's not 19 invul top dial. He's pretty squishy. Like you're either hitting and taking that character out with your roll, or he's gonna get hit and there goes 75 points of your build. So
he's the character you have to concentrate on.
yeah.
You can't leave him there to do something to your team,
Oh no.
and he's a quarter of the build. So
He's another one of my top wants for sure, and this is probably the piece that I'll try to build with first after rotation. But there's a bunch of stuff that I want to.
Yep.
All right, so that is the CURs. Miles, you had a ruling you wanted to go over.
yes, know. I'm gonna tell you. So this came up in my 2v2. I wiped my opponent 300 points to 0. My partner lost 300 to 0, and it was ruled to be a roll off. And in fact, that was incorrect because when you look at it, I killed 3 generated Astral Stranges, which put me up at 345, and that would have put us over the tiebreakers purposes, which is for scoring. What was the other one? It's in the tournament rules where you only look at total points scored for tiebreaker purposes. So we technically did not need a roll off. We should have actually made it to the finals. I was a little bit bitter when I found out, but you know what? You live and learn. I still think I had a good showing, and I'll accept defeat this time. But yeah, so always make sure that if those extra points, especially in 2v2, is very important. And it can also come into play when people are generating figures outside without the game actually ending by full wipe. So if your opponent had the old black card that generated Hellfire Guards, there is a world where you could have won, 350 to 325. Even though it's max reported score of 300, whoever had the most total points would have won that game. So it would be a 300 to 300 win for someone and a 300 to 300 loss. And that's exactly what this should have been put as, was a 300 to 300 win on my part instead of it being held at a roll off because I technically had 45 points above my opponent.
So just a good thing to know because that could happen to someone else
Yeah.
at some other time.
No, especially with them trying to get 2v2 going with team sealed and all that stuff. I think it's something that really make sure you pay attention because the more that you know, because there's a lot on judges' plates sometimes, especially at the bigger events. So just make sure that they're in the know and you let them know, so that way everyone has a fair shot and following the correct rules.
That's right. And then last we had some listener questions.
Your ass better call somebody!
First is Anthony Barnstable. He had a few here. So his first one, what were your opinions of the teams played at Nats? Miles, do you want to go with that one first?
Yes, actually, this is honestly extremely hard for me to say this. I was really stoked to see Aquaman make it into the top 16. However, I'm not surprised he didn't get past the top 16 because, quite frankly, I'm a better Aquaman player. But kudos to Kenny for playing Aquaman. I think it's exactly what everyone was expecting was the Black Hearts and the Kongs. Mern started showing up. I was playing Mern and was winning with him quite frequently online play. Others have as well. So I'm not surprised at all to see that Mern was the reason that Isaac won. Because I think if you actually watch that game, that's the one thing that really helped Isaac take on Alec because Alec wasn't able to modify his stats. But I mean, I think people need to just look at it a little bit less and say, man, I wish the meta was more diverse, and that it would take more than 4 people to really decide what the meta is. Some people just have to take chances. Kenny took a chance with Aquaman. His opponent just unfortunately rolled extremely high. So I think the meta is in a healthy state. I'm not surprised by the team that won. I did see some kinks in the armor watching the games, and I hope other people did as well to potentially try and figure out how to counter that. So I actually like where competitive is at the moment.
I'd like to see a little bit more variety. Honestly, I'm kind of already tired of seeing Kongs everywhere. He's obviously a really good 50.
No, I'm just saying that that there is a possibility for more figures to be playable. People are just not trying to give it a chance, and I hope by seeing that what everyone's playing, that they actually go through HC units and look at figures that can potentially disrupt and catch people off guard.
I'd like to see more of that.
It's going to take multiple people to do that, and I'm going to tell you right now that it is possible. It's very much possible. Instead of just hitting the easy button, sometimes it's worth throwing people off, especially when the meta is so condensed at the moment.
Right.
With what everyone's playing.
Yeah, I would just like to see more than Kongs and Porters, so that's my big thing.
Yeah.
Dan or Pete, did you guys want to weigh in?
No, lots of Kongs. That's what I took from it. I think it was a great event, and all the players in the top 8 deserved to be there. And I got to watch a couple of the games at the end, so it was interesting to see people deploying different strategies with those pieces. But I mean, Kong's the best attacker right now. I mean, by be one of the best attackers of all time. So I'm not gonna get mad at anybody playing something that efficient. I get the want for other pieces, but it's hard to do what he does at 50 points.
I think we need a couple more options that counter him, kind of like what basically his presence killed Carnage Silver Surfer. So
Yeah.
I think we need something like that for him now, more than just Precision Strike or something like that, because he does a lot. He's very protected as well. So
I mean, Colossus does it.
He does.
I mean, Colossus just eats him. But he's also more points, so I get it. But it's not like killing a Prime Colossus is easy. So.
Then number 2, did the winner of initiative rolls ultimately matter that much? What were you guys expecting with that? Because it doesn't look like it actually played as heavily into what people are expecting.
I was expecting mostly to be maps.
Yeah,
to be more important, but I think that first player would usually win. I think Bunker is something that I've been saying, that I think if you're going to be second player, you have to play it on Bunker. And I think that's exactly what it showed. If you see the people that went second, most of them were on Bunker and they were successful. And I think that's specifically because of that map.
But
without that map, I think that'd be a lot different.
I also think with the prevalence of Amit's Tomb still, so if you are a second player, you're as someone that has gone first before against Amit's Tomb, I'm gonna run at you because I'm not letting you ramp that all the way up to 8. There's no way. You just get so many benefits for doing that. I think that it's a combination of things. I saw a lot of Amit's Tomb on all the builds, so I mean, small max make it easier to get to the opposing team, but you still have to. So I think that also changed. Like, just because you went first doesn't mean you ultimately might have won, because you have things that have to pull you in, to engage right away, like Amit's Tomb.
Right.
Well, Amit's Tomb, you can get 7 turn 1 easy. 2 Kongs get you to 4. That's only 2 actions.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It's ridiculous how fast they can get loaded up. But
that's what I mean though. So say
yeah,
you go first, you pass, you see the second player and their Amit's Tomb, they get 3 attacks off. They're at 6. You have to kind of do something that next turn. Then you can't just let them finish winding up the mystery card.
Yeah. Mutt's Tomb definitely needs addressed. I'm hoping that we do have something leading up to Worlds for sure.
Yeah, I like the idea of you having not a win condition, but just you make it so your opponent can't just sit back and kind of chill, right? Like you're like, okay, you got to engage with me because I have something that's going to make me stronger over here. So like
I think Ahmed's tomb is absolute win condition, but it's up to you if you let somebody do it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Ami's Tomb is too strong. All I mean is I like something like that that forces your opponent to have to engage with you. It's like they can't just sit there. They have to do something about it. That's all I mean is something like that. Amit's Tomb is a bad example because it's just too good and it's too easy to ramp it up. But I just think that the the concept of it was a good idea, but not execution.
It was just too easy to ramp up with the keywords that were chosen for the card. And
the change.
And the change, exactly, yeah. So it's just too easy to ramp up. But as far as like initiative roll goes, it does come down to map, I think, right now. And that's why that Major Brock's Bunker is so good. Once we have a couple more maps that are more similar to that, I don't think this is the only map you see. It's just the best map to slow down an Alpha Strike right now. So it might take another... who knows what we get out of this set? We haven't seen the maps yet, right? Or have we?
No.
So, and who knows what the October map for States looks like also.
We did see the maps. I'm going to have to rewatch the videos, but we did, yes. Scott Porter had the stay-at-home kids.
Oh, and didn't he only show like half of one or something? He didn't show them that well.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't had a chance to really sit down and watch the videos because they were on the longer side, but yeah.
I want to say that he like half showed one and then didn't show the other one or one side. I forget which, but yeah, you did not get good looks at him, I don't think. Number 3 is favorite aspects of the fan appreciation night news. I always like the new reveals, so for me it's just seeing the upcoming sets that get announced. But in general, I think anytime that WizKids takes the time to run these at the bigger events is awesome. I always look forward to them when they do them, and the coverage that Dial H did to kind of share all that stuff and the other players that shared them on the Facebook pages was nice for the people that couldn't make it out there.
And then they had me sold. I don't care what else they had. Mogo is coming out in Lantern's Light, so interested to see how they're going to handle that because he is a planet, so he's not just like a colossal 2x2.
I really hope I honestly hope they do the like Cathan where they make him a single base and just make him a single base colossal.
I want to see it be a map. I want to see a character that actually interacts with a map where like you have a map and you pay points for it, you know, and by paying points for it, you're able to attack from certain squares more effectively. But you have to have a Mogo figure that goes with it on your sideline, and then you're able to use that figure to attack through those squares.
I always like location bonuses. I miss them from the old maps. My favorite thing of fan appreciate at night is always the new figures that you get to see. And I did enjoy a lot of how they commented on some of their shortcomings and how they're trying to address them. So it's a good sign.
Was great.
That was big, yeah. Favorite aspects of HeroClix at GenCon this year, booth events and everything else. For me, I think the trophy is honestly a nice little addition that they started doing with these. So I think that was a good little thing. Do you guys have anything else that was just a high point?
I wasn't able to make it, so yeah, I can't really pick what I would have enjoyed the most from just seeing it. But yeah, I think the trophy aspect I think is really cool, just from being outside.
Yeah, I think having a trophy is important. Like it's a national tournament, so having a trophy is kind of a big deal.
And I will say too, the big thing for any of these is when they debut a set for Team Sealed and Battle Royales. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that at World since they did that at GenCon. But I guess for GenCon, it was a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did not make it, but I want to just give a shout out to Dial H. Their coverage was amazing.
So. We felt like we were there.
Yeah,
it was pretty close. Yeah.
Feelings on Masters of Time. What do you guys think about Masters of Time so far?
Ooh, the rares are awesome. And there's stuff even in the commons and uncommons. We've only gone through the first part of the set, and honestly, I'm there's enough in there to make me excited.
That's arguably, actually not even arguably, it has the greatest legacy card we've ever seen, hands down. And I'm glad that it's going to be. I can't really say readily available because we're still waiting on the online play at home kits. So I'm hoping they get that issue fixed. But to have one of the better legacy cards actually available to everybody from an online exclusive play at home kit, I think is really great, especially since it's for WizKids exclusive convention exclusive star figure.
Yeah.
I think they handle a lot of stuff great. A few of the dials are lackluster, but you're going to get that. Some figures are always going to be better. But as a whole, I think the set is an A+.
I'm always excited for a new set. It seems like they're taking a step forward with just like set design in general, and the sculpts I think look better again. It feels like every 3 or 4 sets they take a step forward. But I do think that there's a step backwards on the higher point dials. They really started getting really close, I think, in Deadpool, Weapon X. But that really just seems to be the biggest miss is just the overcosted high dials on a lot of the figures. And I think we'll see that more on the super rares too.
Yeah, I think
especially with the older sets still being modern, that it doesn't really coalesce really great. So it makes a lot of figures that normally would be playable not playable because they're just too many points for what they do compared to what figures that are still in modern do.
It seems like a little bit of a reset set.
Yeah, like they're trying to rebalance the point formula again, basically.
Yeah.
And I like that, but yeah, I think they missed a little bit on the high dials. Like they just either make them a little better or make them a little cheaper, but not much is really there.
And then, are any pre-worlds announcements or rulings needed? I'd say some kind of like a watch list or something with a 1-week turnaround time max, and just trying to address Amit's Tomb, Blackheart, Kong, the trick arrows. The trick arrows, really, I want to see those fixed so that they only work with range attacks, because they're on, again, just like the Porters and the Kongs are on almost every team, and pieces that can charge and flurry with them, things like that. It's too much. They should be a range only like they were designed for.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything that would add to that list?
No, that's perfect.
Oh, you covered it. And is Masters of Time legal for Worlds or not? Like that come out?
Oh yeah,
that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's Masters of Time legal.
What are you looking for? What are you looking at for Worlds? So I'm always excited for Worlds, and as we're getting closer, we kind of we probably talk about it every day now at this point. So all of us on the podcast here are going. Christine and I are going to bring Oliver this year, so it's going to be his first World. So just being able to do that with your son is pretty cool too. So this is going to be a really special one for us. I'm excited for it. What about you guys?
Yeah, it's always great when we have the team together. It's always fun.
Yeah, just hanging out with these guys, hanging out with you guys, getting to play cliX, going to dinners. I mean, that's the stuff. The sitting around by the pool. That's the stuff that's fun. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good week.
What is it? I get to play Team Seal with freaking Pete and Miles. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
You guys just might as well concede now. You guys can just go ahead and message us that if we match up. You guys can just concede. Yeah, totally fine.
What are your opinions on the Dial H player ranking system? I thought it was awesome to see. I really hope they keep doing it. It kind of gives a little bit more to just competitive in general and just kind of where people stand on a competitive level. So even just the intro stats that they gave, I think were pretty cool. I'm looking forward to their next podcast, just where they go in depth to a lot of that stuff too, a little more.
I hope they make.
I'm sad again. I'm sad about it because I really don't have a lot of competitive tournaments I'm able to go to. So just not even seeing my name on there just makes me a little sad. I'm like, man.
Well, you could live in another place that actually plays HeroClix.
I know. It's going to happen.
I think it's interesting. I think it's a nice conversation piece. I'm anxious to hear how they describe it. So.
Mm-hmm.
I think it adds another layer to play. So yeah, I think it's great, and I hope they keep doing it. Number 9, with the departure of Scott D'Agostino, what do you think he did to most impact HeroClix, or just favorite memories about or with him? I never really got a chance to meet him. He always seemed cool and excited about the product, though. So whatever he's going on, I hope he moved on to something that made him happy. I don't know. Do you guys ever have any experiences with him?
My only interactions with him are at GenCon because he was at the booth. Really nice guy as far as that's concerned. But I didn't have any like super personal interactions with him. But like the stuff I did have, really nice guy, really liked CLIX. So, um, yeah, I mean that's all I really got.
I don't know that I ever interacted with Scott, but I wish him the best in whatever he's doing.
Yep. Yeah. I don't have any. Don't think I really ever met him. So I've heard good things about him.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone say anything negative about him. So yeah, I hope he is doing something that made him happy. What order would you rank each HeroClix event this year so far, and why? Which events are even worthy of being ranked? Do you guys have any answers for those?
Rock Cup number 1, despite it being extremely hot.
So I think my
any
number
other
one is
number 1.
I think my number one is still going to be the CLIX Cup.
The Champion CLIX Open?
Yeah, we haven't had Worlds yet, so it's hard for me to like, I guess like rate these or like give them an order, right?
Yeah.
But I would say Worlds. If I like just in general, I would probably say Worlds, and then Huntsville and Champion CLIX are like neck and neck for second because like Huntington's like H4H is a super awesome thing to be a part of. You've got the whole Porter thing and all of his stuff that he's involved in. I really like that as just, and I mean, he does it with Champion CLIX, or he did do it that one year with Champion CLIX, so it's really cool. I think David did some stuff last year, right, with some charity initiatives last year too.
Yeah.
I just don't remember which one it was. But those two are like neck and neck for second, and I don't really do. I guess I don't really know if I have a third because I haven't been to GenCon in a little bit for Nats, and I never went to Origin, so those are the big three for me though.
Okay. Yeah, as far as this year goes, I would put Champion CLIX at the top. That is it's an awesome vacation. Having it at a hotel, resort, whatever, is awesome. It's just so organized, prized out so well. I just think it's really hard to beat that. Rock Cup, still close second. It was a fun time. It definitely was rough playing in the store with like 150-degree heat. And then there's a lot of stuff I think that still need to get figured out with Silver at the time. So as far as the events, it was a good starter. But it's where it needed to start too, right? But I think that it was just a little harder to run it as clean when there was a lot of new stuff that was being tried out there. And then I put Origins on next just because I think that it was nice to see that back, but it didn't feel as big just because WizKids didn't officially put it on. And then Adepticon felt kind of small because they closed it out at how many people ended up coming?
Like 32 or 36, I want to say.
Yeah, so I think that one, it got hurt by the cap that got put on it in the beginning, and then they slowly just kept adding it. If they would have had a bigger cap in the beginning, I think it probably would have gotten even more people because they could have planned on going earlier. So yeah. Next year, I think that one will be a bigger one. And then Nats, it sounds like it's cool, but I don't like the format of, if you go to play in an event and you just get bad pod play, then you're just done with the event. So I think that's kind of a hard sell for me as far as that goes. And then if we did include Worlds, I would put that ahead of everything. There's just something about like that big event feel that makes it special. So that's why, again, we're looking forward to that coming up here.
I would put Worlds. For my experience of the things I've gone to, Worlds is incredible. Full disclosure, I've not made all these events, so I'm just going to give you the ones. I would also rank HeroClix for Huntington's as a very important event, both to the community, but also just for the charity aspect. I participate in the charity auction every year, and I think they do a wonderful job. And because this is our podcast and I am nothing if not a shill, our event was amazing too. Thanks once again to Dan and Jeremy. And that's mine.
All right. And then number 11, what are your feelings on the Master of Time set? I think we already answered that a little earlier. And then how will it change the meta? And would you ever record a podcast on site at an event? I have not really looked at the set competitively yet because it's not even announced it's going to be legal, and I'm pretty set on my team. So if I change anything, it's the primes on the sideline. But I'm pretty set and just going to be trying to run reps with it right now at this point. But as far as just making a new competitive team around anything, I don't think there's anything there really. It seems like this is going to be a set more where you right now just kind of sprinkle on your current team versus building a team around. But that might change as things kind of open up, especially after rotation. And then as far as doing a podcast on site, I wouldn't be against it, but I think I still need to get this whole podcasting thing down before we take it on the road.
We've talked, like Miles and I and Dan and I and Ryan have talked about like what could we do at the event. So I don't know. I think there's something coming. Just stay tuned. I don't know if it'll be a full podcast or it may just be Miles and I and Dan waxing philosophically from our hotel room in the middle of the night. You never know.
I think a live stream is the most likely, but it depends on how things turn out. The days honestly are so long.
So we're live streaming waxing. Me and Pete are gonna wax Dan live. Heard it.
That'll title your sex tape.
Waxing Dan.
How did we have the perfect clip for that? How?
I've been waiting.
We're prepared.
All right.
And then following the waxing, you'll hear this.
Look how they mess with my boy.
All right, number 12, Anthony's last one. What did you think of the tournament software used this year? Which events is it best for, and how would it compare to the other software from last year? Honestly, after seeing the Best Coast pairings, we use that for our events. I think it's the way to go. Is there anything better about that sandbox thing that they used?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, the Best
No,
Coast.
I really like the Best Coast pairings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way easy to get the Rock Cup. Yeah, it just seems it's way more user friendly. It's just extremely easy.
Well, and it has other metrics that it uses too, so which is good overall, and you can still incorporate like all the CLIX metrics into it, so which is really nice. But I mean, I like it. It's based on like other other types of scoring systems that are like well documented. So I mean, I like it, but that's me.
Yeah, I can't complain about it, so I would stick with that one. Then we got Paul Cote. One, would you still play Blackheart if you needed a power action instead of a free action to be placed? I don't play Blackheart, but I still think that he sees. I still think he sees play if it becomes a power action. People are still paying for TK as a power action, and what he does is even better than that. So I think it's totally fine to make that a power action.
That
yes,
is
because
totally
I'm
fine.
dropping 2 monkeys wherever I want them on the board, so that's absolutely worth a power action.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, apes. I apologize, Con.
Man, I wouldn't care if that was a power action. I would still play. Like, I'm a Blackheart shill. I love that piece. Like, it's great. Like,
Yeah,
I'll trade that points to get my team across the board. That's fine.
Yeah, he dies easy, but I think that's totally fine to make that a power action. You're not losing anything. Would you still play Amit's Tomb if it had a max 2 per turn or max 3? I'd probably still, if I put it on the sideline, maxing it out turn 4 is still good because you're not really wasting as many actions and you can do it in the middle of fighting possibly. But I think still bringing it down to 2 might be nerfing it too much, especially just with the change to small maps. So I'm not sure.
3 is just fine because
3?
you get the 6 trigger by turn 2. I think 3 would be fine.
Yeah, 3 is probably a good spot. Honestly, and I play the cards, so I'm not going to say that it's fine, but I try to play the stuff that's not on every team. Like, I have 3 Carnage Silver Surfers. I've never played them at a competitive event. We got, 7 Kongs in this house. I've never played them in a competitive event. So this is one thing that I have put on my team almost every team that I've made since it came out. But I still think that if they got rid of this tomorrow, I would not be mad about it.
No, I'd be fine. It's on my team too, and it's the same way. I've had it on my team for a while, and I wouldn't miss it if it was gone. I'd be like, it's one less thing I'd have to keep track of, honestly.
Right.
If you can play it, you should play it because I mean it's that good, and even dropping it to 2 or 3 would still be great. So I don't see a downside to it.
Yeah. Then Garrett Shanathorst, favorite announcement of things to come, iconic set or otherwise. I'm right now the most excited for Collector's Trove at the end of the year. But if you're just talking about the stuff that was revealed this weekend, I'd say either the Smash and Destroy set announced, or that little line that they threw in the Iconics about allowing them to do new IPs. I always get excited when they add something new that we haven't seen before. Like the even Beetlejuice is cool. I really wish they would get back like Ninja Turtles or the WWE stuff. Like, I want to see more stuff. So if they can start throwing out some new IPs there, I'm really excited about that.
First appearance of Avengers, I'm excited about. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that Ant-Man is insane.
Yeah.
Ant-Man Wasp is insane.
I think
Mogo.
Mogo. Yeah, I think for me
Yep.
the writing on the wall is we can't make a Thor set, but here's a bunch of Thor stuff.
I think there's Asgardians in every set for the rest of the year and half of next year.
Yeah, I mean I'm happy about it. Don't get me wrong. I will get probably all of them, but that was the writing on the wall for me was we can't make a good Thor set.
Well, considering the last Thor set was a giant pile of crap, you probably should be happy about that. So
that hurt Pete. That's very hurtful, Pete. You know.
They also said Green Man for Assassin. Don't hate it. Slightly disappointed we didn't get a Roz replacement or anything that spawns the new League Assassins. I really hope they can. Wait, did you guys look at Green Man?
I know Pete was really excited for him. I saw that.
Yeah, low dial. He's great on Assassins. I think we can talk about it with our next episode, though. I 100% agree with what he said, though.
Yeah, I want to see them continuing the target trait with Assassin to kind of make it a unique keyword. It would be nice if they found a way to do something with Roz's ability in a future set or something like that. But yeah, we'll talk about him next episode. But the big thing is that super playable, low points, and then kind of what we said before, he's just another piece that his top dial is just way too overcosted to be anything more. So. Then we get to McConnell Lamar. Did you hear anything at Nationals about whether or not Masters of Time will be legal at Worlds? I do know that WizKids knows it's a time-sensitive issue, and they're working on getting an update as soon as possible, so it sounds like it's a priority. Hopefully now that they're back from GenCon, we'll get an answer soon, but there's nothing official yet. What?
We made Miles waterboard himself, and he wouldn't confess to anything, so that's the best I can tell you.
Then he asked if there's any news at Nationals when all of the delayed product is planned to be delivered. They did mention in one of their slides that the updated product release schedule should be soon. And it sounds like there's a lot of revamping and changing happening right now, so it might take a little bit longer, but expect at least an updated schedule, which is promising. And then what are the top 3 figures you would like to see break into the current competitive modern age scene, not including Masters of Time? So I went with stuff just out of the new set just because it hasn't had time to really see anything yet. And I went with the Prime Domino, Wolverine, and LCD. I've played quite a few times, and they're a ton of fun. And then Deadpool and Hitmonkey.
Deadpool, Hitmonkey, Weapon X from the new set. And I would go with Connelly the Watcher.
Oh, yeah. He's close.
Yeah. Mine, I'm working on a video, so I'm going to start off with their 2 older figures. One of them came out at Worlds, and that's going to be the Bystander King. Okay, people are sleeping on this figure. They need to look at him again. And then we're going to go all the way back to Avengers 60, because there's more than one playable chase in that set. There's more than just Arachnite. There is Dormammu Red, who I think right now actually complements the meta quite well as countering the meta. So I'd like to see people maybe potentially looking at that. Those are the 2 main ones. Cosmo, I know, has seen some play, but not as much. And I'm actually quite surprised. So Cosmo's the third, probably be number 3 that would like to see more people use, because I know I plan on using him.
Yeah, he's still really good.
A legacy figure. Not the calendar.
Yes, I don't think anyone thought you were talking about Cosmo from the calendar.
Just in case.
What about you, Dan?
Zombie Wolverine. And then I got a couple from the, let's see. I really like the She-Hulk from the Hellfire Gala. I think she's a bit underrated. For 40 points, what you're getting, I think, is really good. That's funny. Like I don't have a lot of the new stuff. I think King Arthur. I think King Arthur is my other big one. Just like super undervalued, but just an amazing piece.
And then Bookwood actually, he messaged me and he said he wants to see Black Lantern Superman, Ghost Surfer, and Simon Garth. And unfortunately, that's just not going to happen. He just needs to get off that bandwagon like I did.
Yeah, not great.
We gave up on Simon Garth. When did that happen?
Just it's a long story. Long story. Yeah.
Richard Zatluko, he says, do you think if HeroClix has a broad audience like Magic or Pokemon, we'd see a little more creativity in meta builds? It feels like 5 or 6 players determine what the meta will be, and everyone else builds what they build. This might be a little bit of a hot take, but I think the issue is everyone keeps listening to the same 5 or 6 players. There's a lot of very obvious pieces that make a good team, but good players playing good pieces are going to do well. So players think buying those good pieces will make them good, and that's just not true. It really comes down to the players not wanting to put the time in to get creative and make stuff work. Whether it's, you just don't have the time to get with people and actually play test, things like that. But there really are a lot more options out there for playable pieces. The problem is that you look at the top 8 of what people are using right now, and again, it comes down to, Kongs, Blackheart, and Scott Porters. So that's my take.
There are more good players. Yeah, there are more good players than there are good team builders.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to that.
Yep, that's a good way to put it too.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not the best team builder. I'm a halfway decent pilot, but no. I totally prescribe to that. You got something?
I think your team building is. I think it's gotten a lot better. It takes time. Team building, I don't think, is something that everyone can do right off the bat. It takes a lot of time to really team build successfully.
Thanks for being positive there, Miles, because somebody else was taking a shot at Dan just a second ago.
I'm like, wait, where's the clap back? Come here, I'm here for it. So
it was there.
No,
it was there.
He was full making noises.
Well, we're getting some butter, and because we got a wax. We got ready for this waxing. So I'm just trying to butter you up.
I think it's team building is a skill. And if you put the time into it, you can make things work. I've seen people on this podcast pop out some really, really unique builds for Arachnite, for Red Sun, Lex Luthor. That was a whole thing for a while. Miles is obviously Miles, so there's stuff that just comes out of left field sometimes. So I just think you gotta, if you want to do that, you can definitely do it. I think HeroClix, one of the good things about the game is that you can absolutely put the time in and make something very competitive and very meta, just by kind of looking at how you want to play it and what you want to do.
And I think the thing is that if you make a good team, right? You still have to make a good team, but if you get reps with that team and you know how to play it, you can beat other teams. Like if you know your strengths and weaknesses, you can still beat like the other like high-end teams that you see. Like you take the top 8 for Nats, like you can still make a good team and have flair, and as long as you have, I think the biggest thing too is like reps. Like if you know how to play your team well, that can save you a lot of time, like trying that you might struggle against like a team like that, because you can know, okay, this is how I dismantle a Kong team, or this is how I handle this team or whatever. So
I think a plan.
That plays just as big of a role as like the team building in and of itself.
Well, and even like until the most recent announcement about small maps, I mean, we were still talking about that Poison Ivy team being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's teams out there. You just got to look for the piece and figure it out. So.
And then Damian Matthew Berth asks, when are Weapon X retail chase boosters coming? Check with your store, because ours ordered our boosters, and we already scheduled our event for Monday, September 9th. So that is something that has been updated and you should be able to get now. Same with the store championship, the Deadpool one. Both of those are available. We have them scheduled. So definitely check with your local game store. Then Aaron Morgan, how did everyone feel about CLIX Bowl? I personally did not see anything about it. It didn't really seem special. It just was 3 rounds of Swiss for a team sealed game. It also really wasn't heavily explained or promoted or anything like that. So I don't...
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was really anything at all. And it kind of seemed a little bit rough to throw away a brand new set for a team sealed that is just 3 rounds of Swiss. It's kind of like how Pulp was at Worlds last year. With no top cut, any event is honestly kind of disappointing. You know, if you lose that first round, you know, why are you still playing, really?
No, that absolutely, because it's going to be whoever wins is going to be undefeated. So yeah, if you just have bad dice rolls or something on your first game, it's what's the point of continuing?
So I don't like any event that doesn't have a top cut of some sort. So, but yeah, it just didn't seem like anyone really talked about it. There wasn't any coverage of it, so I didn't really know any information. I still don't even know who won. Does anybody see who won it?
I didn't even know it was a thing.
I did not.
So,
I didn't know.
I heard about it,
know,
but yeah, I didn't see anything about it.
I didn't know it was until after. I was like, oh, okay.
The most talk it got was when it was released as something you could sign up for, and people weren't sure if it was $150 per person or one person or what was really even going on. And then it got out there that it was $150 for the whole team, and then no one really talked about it anymore. So, yes, I would say that wraps CLIX Bowl up. And then he asked, what side events do you want to see at Nats and Worlds? I personally like theme events a lot and team events. So I don't care if it's silver or modern. Those are my favorite, is theme and teams.
Yeah, teams
twos and
is
threes.
really good.
Yeah.
Highlander and teams I love because you're able to build teams with your teammates, and you actually have to think on how to make stuff work when you're doing it Highlander. That's
Subscribe to that. That's pretty much where I fall. So
did we ask the side events question at Worlds?
That's what we're on.
Yeah, I would like to see a tattoo booth. Maybe a nice make your own like a drawing station or something. That would be kind of cool. No, I mean I like theme stuff and I like Highlander events a lot. I would like to see silver supported at Worlds. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I would like to see.
All right. And then Chris Ligerdrink asks, Miles Kane, add in why AJ Kilgore forgot your name.
Well, I mean, he's a CLIX bad. That's, that's about the only thing I can say.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
He's a CLIX bad. He's not very good. So I'm not surprised.
All right. Well, AJ.
You just made the list!
Yep.
Derek Benedict asks, what are your guys' thoughts on saying you carried a figure after an attack resolved? This happened multiple times in the U.S. Nats Final Four where the Kong charged. So personally, I'm pretty generous on people taking things back, even at bigger events. But once dice have been rolled, it really should stand because it changes the game state. Whether something hit or missed, somebody might decide to move up a perplex versus an outwit, and it's really hard to allow them to make those types of choices after a game state is changed like that. So like I don't mind if somebody replaces stuff, if they play something and then they say they're going to attack, but then they realize line of fire is different. Like if someone has not rolled dice, then I'm usually okay with them backing up, 2 moves or something. As long as it's not every turn we're rewinding the whole turn. Even at big events, I feel like I'm pretty generous in general. And then he also asked, is it bad sportsmanship to say it wasn't declared? In this context, it led to subsequent attacks where the results of Kong attacks were already known. So I don't think it's bad sportsmanship at all, like I said. What were we going to say, Pete?
No, in that case, dice are rolled. In that case, it changes the game state. In that case, error is part of this game. Human error is part of this game. Fatigue sets in. You're not thinking. You get excited to do one thing and you forget to do 2 other things prior to that. Like, it's not bad sportsmanship in that case. That's just how the rules of the game exist. So if your opponent wants to allow you to do it, I guess that's generous of them. But in that level of play, I think you kind of have to say, yeah, man, I think you forgot to do that. Sorry, I don't know that I can allow you to do that. That changes the turn.
Yeah, because I had an issue where someone complained because during my states I had Lockjaw, and I said I'm moving Lockjaw here. And then I started placing characters, and they tried arguing that I didn't declare they were carrying. I think that's 2 totally different arguments since dice weren't rolled.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's completely different than
I don't think you have to declare that you're carrying somebody with someone.
Mm-hmm.
right off the bat, you know, you can
Yeah,
just place them as totally fine. But if you place them, roll dice, and say, "Oops, I forgot to," that's totally different.
well, yeah, because like an obvious one is you just poofed your Kong up with Blackheart. You would want to carry him up, I would think, to try to grab the Empower if you're not quaking. So
Yeah.
you'd want to be like, yeah, I'm carrying my Blackheart up so I can get the Empower going.
It's a difficult thing because rules lawyers drive me crazy. Like you didn't declare it, but there's some things that are obviously inherently in what you're doing. Like a Green Lantern piece is generally carrying people. Like Blackheart's clearly placing people. Like you knew it was coming, but to then bring something up after like a charge where you've rolled dice and been like, oh, I meant to put him here. That's the opponent's decision if they're going to let you do that, especially if there were subsequent attacks. So
It just it changes the game state and things are going to play out differently. You know, if you hit or missed and now you need another outwit, I don't know who did that. So what I'm about to say, it's not on anybody, but there's definitely some soft cheating that goes on sometimes in some of these events, and people will kind of push the limit on what you'll let them do. And so you really just got to let it known that, especially if it's happening multiple times a turn or in the game, that it's just you have to take a second to say, I'm going to place this here, I'm going to do this, and make sure before you roll the dice, if you're the person that's rolling the dice, that everything, like, say what you're doing. It's you know, your attack on their defense. Make sure that you guys are in understanding, and as long as everything is, you know, set before you roll, then that's how it is after you roll too. So it comes down to the dice. Did you guys want to add anything else on that, or is that pretty clear?
Nah, we covered that, I think.
That's pretty dead on. Yeah.
Peter Marshfield, looking at pre-Masters of Time, are there any figures or point values of a figure that are being overlooked for modern play? With Masters of Time being legal, how does the butterfly swaps change for your build if you're running the butterfly? I said this before, I'm pretty set with my team, so if anything, I might go with like a Reverse Flash or Etrigan on my sideline instead of Absorbing Man, but other than that, I'm pretty locked in at this point and just trying to do the reps before Worlds.
Same. The only thing I said that the figures that are overlooked are the figures that I already stated, and that's Dormammu and Cosmo and the King Bystander, who works amazing with Dormammu. So and even if Masters of Time is legal, I don't think there's anyone that I'm really going to throw in a swap, because there's there's pretty much like Butterfly Swap has already been almost established before Masters of Time, and Masters of Time doesn't really add anything that those other figures don't.
I haven't found one thing yet.
I would think the only thing would maybe be Despero. That's my only thought of like.
That.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about him.
Who would you take off to put him there? That's where it's that there's matchups where would be good.
I understand that completely. That was my only thought of like maybe this piece. That was it.
I'm not going to adjust my team at this point. The only thing I would consider adjusting is if I happen to get my hands on one of the sideline active primes instead of Absorbing Man, I guess.
Yeah, that's
a pretty hard sell to get rid of that piece.
Yeah.
So I mean, the other stuff, the only other thing I'm working on is like, what are my butterfly swaps? So there's a couple of pieces I'm looking at. I haven't decided 100%, but I'm pretty set on what I'm doing.
Are any of those pieces for Masters of Time?
Negative.
All right. With Amit's Tomb being so popular to build with, why do we not see more Zod Ursa Non getting played? Does it just not get played because it's keywords? People don't like having it points off the map. I think it comes down to the points, because I really liked my Vox Arachnite team, but taking 90 points off the map is really rough. So it's the same thing with Zod Ursa Non. Not having them on turn 1 for effects and having to try to get them out is just, I don't think it's the best play.
No, that's exactly why. They just don't do enough for 70 points to justify changing something on your build that you have to work at to get.
Right, especially with small maps now too, because you can easily get rushed, and all of a sudden you're down those 70 points, and they're not there to help.
I was thinking of like theory crafting as them as being like a counter to Amit's Tomb to an extent. Because you like, if your opponent just ramps it up, you can just plop them in their starting area. I'm pretty sure.
That's true.
How they work. But then you better make sure the rest of your team's up there, because Otherwise, like, yeah, they're durable to an extent. Because what is it? Hold on, they're notorious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because their trait reads, when the last Phantom Zone token is removed, or when no friendly character is on the map after resolution is placed, the trio in a square on any map edge or in a square with a debris marker that was placed this turn. So, like, yeah, you could pop them right wherever your opponent is making all those debris markers, right? But if they've got the tomb ramped up, they're doing so much extra damage and stuff that they could easily chew through them. Like, that's the unfortunate part. Is I think they are really good. Like, I mean, they have 2 stop clicks. They all have good stats and powers, but it's just risky. So and like you said, you're taking the points off the board. So that's kind of the deal because they go off the board no matter what at the beginning of the game. So like then your opponent could just not do the Amit's Tomb stuff, and then but you're down 70 points. So you're down a quarter of your build basically, and then their opponent's like, well, I'm just not going to do the Amit's Tomb to give you the like, because then you won't be removing the Phantom Zone tokens, and that's on you then. So.
And then if you get rushed, then you have to decide: do I try to get these 70 points out, or do I fight back? So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I
small
just
maps.
always have thought of him as point denial. Honestly, I don't. Anything that takes that many points off the board is that's really a tough sell. That's really a hard sell. They're cool. They're cool looking Ultra Chase. I have one. They're fun to play in fun games, but I just could never find the utility with them.
Yeah. Are any of you looking forward to a modern where we don't all immediately start with 50 points of Scott Porters? So I thought that we were stuck with Porters for 3 years since it was an LE. So I cannot stress enough how much the news of them getting an early retirement, just how happy that made me. So if felt like if you weren't building with both, you were basically just wrong. So I'm tired of seeing one or both on every team and just making it be 25 or 50 points that you have to play. So do you guys have any different?
I only ever played one of them, so like I never really. It was always white shirt, but yeah, they were unnecessary because it was you have to build with 30 points. Period. So you're now stuck at 270 minimum because you have the niche traffic barrel and then you have white shirt porter.
I've always played
now
the
we're
black
just stuck
one,
at
but yeah,
niche traffic barrel.
yeah,
I
do a lot
love
of
them.
rollouts and stuff. So yeah, I mean the community token. Yeah, I always did it. I preferred the +1 attack with the perplex and all that.
I won't miss the porters. They like I already built theme just because I enjoy like building theme anyway. I won't miss like that stuff.
I love them. I think they're incredible pieces. I think they more than made their impact. So them going is really perfectly fine to me. But I'm not gonna say I'm gonna miss them. But if they're available, they're kind of like Amit's Tomb to me. Like if you're playing that keyword, you might as well play that card. If you're playing competitive,
Yeah.
if you're playing theme, you might as well play the Porters because you're not gonna find a better 50 points anywhere. So or
I mean, that was-
25 points anywhere. So
That was always my thing too. If anything was going to be meta, it might as well be Scott Porter for how much he does for the games. I didn't really have a complaint with that because of it, but to see them on, I would say what like 99% of builds does get a little old.
and they did mention that when he leaves Modern, that he will be available in other formats. So odds are they were referring to Silverets, I would assume. I really hope at the very least they make it so that you can only play one figure on your build with Scott Porter or one character. Just to help you have to choose, and out of 400 points, 50 of that 200 silver is Scott Porter's, because again, it's just like the Masters of Evil, where you're probably playing 50 or 80 points of that on your silver side. So at the very least, I hope they make you choose one or the other. And then Ryan, what's up?
That'd be the easiest change. Just one or the other.
Miles, did you weigh in on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ryan Bookwood says, can you examine why people are in a rush to overpay for stuff that is new and hot when it's so close to pre-release? I think that generally HeroClix players, they're notoriously bad with money, so paying a premium a couple weeks early just to play a piece locally first doesn't really make sense to me. I will say though that these Broods and Cyclops prices, they started really high, and then they did not sell, so people wanted to get rid of them and be the first to sell them, so they went down really quick. I think I saw them at the cheapest already at 60 or 65. And they started at 150
Something like that, yeah.
4 days ago, 5 days ago.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, are we throwing stones in a glass house right now? I want to be sure.
Dude, right?
Yeah, I was like, wait. This coming from the guy who like hooked up the. Let me play the MOE chase for the month.
But the reason why they try to buy them out and all that stuff, and the sellers is, I mean, they kind of have to, support their trip. They have to be able to pay for their trips. That's why they're selling at a premium price. And I think that as fellow players that weren't able to make it, I think that we should help support that by paying for them to pay for their trip.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just playing devil's advocate.
This just went wild here at the end. Just absolutely ludicrous these last few thoughts. People claiming they're not buying stuff prior to it coming out.
So that I absolutely support that because it's for our monthly game, which is a very big deal. I'm not just seeing pieces that I want to play or play for fun. Like, for example, I bought Kevin at a premium price to play it in our robot game. I waited for a very long time because I really didn't care that much about him, but it was a piece that I wanted to play for that. So if there was a piece that, like what's coming up here now, Cosmic, if there was a really cool Cosmic piece that I wanted out of this set, I would absolutely have spent the premium to get it for the game because it's for a specific thing that's an unlimited amount of time. But I'm not going to pay, like I saw, any of the new pieces that I'm going to be getting in 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I don't need to pay 3 times the cost on them now when I might just pull them in 3 weeks.
I feel like King Jefferson should have gotten some.
See, that would be a piece that I would absolutely play just to mess with Harris.
That's fair, because I thought about it. I debated it for a minute. I'm like, man, I can
neither confirm nor deny if it's being sent to you guys. So.
Well, then I know it is. I also was wanting to hook Harris up with the new Dark Side just to have him play it at Cosmic because I know he would at 300 points.
We do not need to give the Skynet defense system anything else. It's fine.
All right, and then our last question is Matthew Zielinski. Am I crazy thinking per Degaton is meta and possibly the best 20 points post-rotation? So, yeah, he is going to absolutely see play. We already touched on him quite a bit. Does anyone want to add anything to that piece?
Grub it back, homie. You're not crazy. Well, at least not in this case.
No, he's going to be, I think we said, that he'll be the most played piece out of the whole set, I think. 20-point leadership right there, so... Yeah, he's great. All right, so next episode we'll finish our Masters of Time set review with the super rares and on. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
Calder kind of called me out a little bit during the live stream for arm wrestling, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna be honest, Calder. This is for you, Ian. I'm sure you listen to this as well. Calder's my boy. He's my friend, but come Worlds, he's gonna be my boyfriend. Okay, that's what's gonna happen.
All right.
That was not where I was thinking that was going, but okay.
I got nothing to follow up other than you guys have a fantastic week.
All right, you as well. Dan, do you have anything?
I need some sleep.
All right. Yeah. Have a good night, guys, and thanks for listening. We will see you next time.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for ya!
Click it!